Louder, please.
Yeah, there's a long story behind the jacket.
Yeah,
I'll,
and
I'll tell
by
you
the way, we're
sometime.
leveling up now officially.
Oh,
We are on.
excellent.
Yes, hello, welcome to a impromptu Wednesday leveling up in the dab. We're gonna do a little bit here, but anyway, it's me, Final Boss, with the legendary Dario.
Dario.
Oh wow, we got a great comment here from Young Old Vibes right off the bat.
If I had $1 for every time she told me that, I wouldn't have to grift.
Right, you would have endless cans of Monster Energy, right?
Indeed.
So tell me, a lot has happened since we last convened. I think did the Odyssey already come out when we talked?
I think it was just coming out. I think it was coming out that week.
Yeah, I'm actually shocked. It's apparently doing really well. It's also on the Dabble dashboard. Shout out Flimsy. They even have a tracker for its gross.
Well, I mean, there was all this talk of woke, but the Nolan factor outweighed that so much because I mean, people don't realize because like Steven Spielberg's name became part of pop culture for a long time, but Nolan's eclipsed him. If you look at his output, we're talking like I think it's something like 9 films over the course of the last 20 years, and they've all been critical and commercial successes. They've all been huge, and they're not all franchise films either. Inception is a meme at this point.
You know,
People
I
add
hate to
"ception"
admit it.
as a
I've
suffix.
I've never even seen. I know all about like the meme for Inception, right? But I don't think I've ever seen Inception all the way through. I've seen like the scene where like the city warps on itself, kind of like Doctor Strange or whatever. Um, but what is that all about? It's you know, in his brain or sleeping.
The people entering dreams, and then there's dreams within dreams. I don't want to say too much because it's worth checking out from the beginning. Even if you've seen part of it, like
Hmm.
watch from the beginning.
All right, I will do.
But yeah,
Um,
Nolan
but
is an
yes,
absolute powerhouse.
and to this point, Tim, our friend Tim here, says it is on the dashboard. He said he was going to tank. He said he saw it. Brendan said it would tank. It is currently made, looking at it right now, 320 million domestic, 683 million worldwide, which is almost 3 times its 250 million budget. So it's doing very well.
Remember, and remember with the budgets, what you want to do is if you want to measure profitability, triple the budget. Like it's not just
Okay.
it's got to make back the budget because there's marketing costs,
Hmm.
and then the way it works is if you bet $5, you don't want to get $5 back. You want to get $25 back. See what I mean?
Yeah, I do, and that's a good
Yeah.
point because it was pretty heavily marketed at that as well. Um,
Yes. Films are
especially,
heavily marketed now. They
yeah,
have they even they have allotment in the budgets for bots, for like social media bots. I mean, they are.
really,
Oh yeah.
but like fake
I mean,
accounts that'll be like, "I heard this is awesome" kind of thing.
yes. In fact,
Wow.
I think when we get to Spidey talk, I have a theory regarding that silly Spider Queen theory that we were discussing in group chat. I'll get to
Hmm.
that later because
Cool.
I think that was bots.
Okay, interesting. So, and that see, it just goes to show, like, do you think, because I do want to talk about Nolan a little more, but when it comes to, because you know how a bunch of these sites are like, we don't like bots, we crack down on them and all this stuff, but when there's such a budget, do you think some of these studios are paying off X a little bit, for example, or Reddit to kind of let them
Oh,
squeeze in?
absolutely.
Yeah.
Maybe not paying them off directly, but it's like they have. I mean, they took over social media. The corporate world took over social media. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
And Hollywood doesn't even cast you unless you have a substantial following. It's
Right.
sad, but it's true.
Hmm. There's not
So,
that many up and comers anymore, unless you're say on the Stranger Things cats, like one of which is in Spider-Man. Like you have to start like as a kid, and then like, oh, Stranger Things made $1 million. Well, there you go. Now you'll
yeah,
make us a million dollars.
you either start as a kid or you're a nepo baby. One
There
of
you
the
go.
two.
Who's also one of those was in Stranger Things? Maya Hawke.
Yes.
She's a nepo
Yeah,
baby right there.
yeah, she's already started making dubious statements to the media. I don't know. I don't recall exactly, but I
I was just
remember
gonna
reading
say, what do you
something
mean?
about. Yeah, I'll look it up since I brought it up.
Hmm. Because I am curious.
Um,
But yeah, so Nolan. I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you. Besides Inception,
yeah.
I when I was growing up maybe too loose of a term because I was in my teens ish. No, actually no. When did Dark Knight come out?
2008, I want to say, maybe
Wow. So
2009.
yeah, maybe that growing up is the right term. I'm gonna look that up as well. Yeah, 2008. So that I kind of grew up like that was Nolan right there, the Batman trilogy right there. That kind of put DC leveling up. Because Marvel at the time
Yes,
obviously just hit it big with Spider-Man, the trilogy there. I think that just wrapped up when Dark Knight came out. So that's kind of
I
my
think
thing with
yeah,
with
within a
Nolan.
few years. Yeah,
Um,
yeah. Another great Nolan film is The Prestige. Have you ever seen that?
I've heard of it. I've heard of it. Is that
That's worth. That's it's
I
got
definitely heard of
it's
this. The
got Hugh Jackman.
Magicians. Yeah.
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
I actually almost
And
watched
it
it. I think it was
actually
on HBO.
that's another one worth checking out. Don't watch part of it. You gotta watch it from beginning to end.
So and that's well, obviously that's how I prefer to watch most of my movies. But yeah, because everything gets clipped
Uh,
and you see little clips of things on
I was
X.
gonna say, you and your dag nab generation, you people with your shorts.
Right. And well, that's the thing. It's kind of brain rot. I remember I took a class, or I was in class like
Yeah.
5 or 6 years ago, and they were saying that if we keep on this kind of instant gratification loop of everything shorter and snappier to keep your attention, we're like well on our way to having less of an attention span than a goldfish. And when I read that, I was like, holy fucking shit! Like we're in bad shape here.
Well, I mean, the comparison's been drawn a few times. Did you ever see Wall-E back when
Yes.
Pixar? Okay, remember what they showed people were like?
Yes. The floating globs and the chairs. Yeah.
Yeah, with
And they
just
had like the
everything at the
screens.
fingertips.
Yep. Hmm. I
Instant
guess that's where we're headed,
gratification.
right? Young old
Unfortunately,
vibes wants to know about
that's
Tenet.
that's another good one. That's another mind fuck.
Is that another Nolan?
That is another Nolan, yes.
Oh, and that's a little new. I've never heard of it. I don't even recall seeing ads for this thing, to be honest with you. But it looks like it did okay. It's got decent
Oh,
reviews.
that's a good one as well, and that's another example. That's an original film that gets kind of drowned out by all the franchise stuff. Whenever people think Nolan, they think Dark Knight trilogy. They
Mm-hmm.
don't think this guy was elected to be the president of the Directors Guild of America
Mm-hmm.
by the other directors.
And he was.
Yes.
Oh well, there you go. So that's got to say a little more than these underground movies. Hello, all these other directors are like, this is the dude right here.
Soren Ringholm, that may count as a spoiler.
Oh really? Well, there you go.
No, I'm joking, but
Yeah,
leave
Soren's
that
a
off
good egg.
screen.
Yeah, I will.
Yes, he is. I've seen him
Um,
around.
yeah, and he was here early too. What was I gonna say? Yeah, the Odyssey. Honest, I totally expected it to fucking. I mean, obviously, believing the hype is perhaps not the best thing, but when you expect a lot of these loud voices to kind of put their money where their mouth is. Like if they're gonna make such a ruckus about it, right? You'd think it would have some sort of impact, but it's flying away. And I even saw clips of like this what do you call it, the Cyclops scene, and it looks like it's really well produced. You got to
I
hand
haven't
it
seen
there.
the Cyclops yet. I haven't seen it. Nolan, he's not big into like the fantastical elements, so I'm not so like I'm definitely going to see it.
Hmm.
I'm very curious to see how he handles it. Because for example, Dark Knight was it was very grounded. I call that trilogy Law and Order Gotham City, and I mean that in a good way. But like one of the things he did that I absolutely love. So you've got the Lazarus pits, which resurrect,
Hmm.
but that's literal in the comics. In the movie, it was a metaphorical resurrection. You still had the Lazarus pit, but Bruce crawls his way out.
Hmm.
Like,
It's
remember?
like that's where what's his name, Ra's al Ghul. That's how he stays alive forever, right?
Exactly,
Hmm.
exactly.
I am familiar.
Now I know that in the Odyssey he didn't do that, but so I'm very curious to see what his approach is because he's not big into that like fantastical stuff.
I see what you're
The
saying. Like if there is something like that can go over the board of creativity and imagination, he's gonna try and make it. What if this were real, kind of thing.
Yeah, I want to see what he does. Like
Yeah,
I've heard different things, like with Cersei and the Cyclops and all that. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm
Jetta
not as
says hello.
enthusiastic though. Hello, Genta. I'm not as enthusiastic about this film because I know. Okay, so for example, I just saw Masters of the Universe,
Hmm.
and that tonally was very different from the Odyssey. If I directed the Odyssey, well, not only would it be a mini series, not a movie, because I wouldn't try to cram it all into one movie, but if I did, it would be like Masters of the Universe. It would be balls to the wall fantasy and sword and sorcery and just craziness. I know this isn't going to be that, though.
Right, and we could actually talk about that a little bit. That's a good segue because I did watch. I think I watched most of it. Like I don't think I got to the climax. I fell asleep, so I can't remember. But I did. I'm not, and that's not an insult to the movie. I was just tired. Um, but I never really knew about He-Man all that much, except for that meme video. And I think they used that song in the movie. Funnily enough, they
Yes, they
embrace it.
did.
But I liked it. I thought it was cool. Now, is that like the lore of He-Man, like in the cartoon or whatever? Like he is put on Earth and he has to go home.
No,
Okay.
however, so they left out a lot of lore, but the thing is, they didn't contradict it. So they can, if they wanted to, they could go back and expand on it. The connection to Earth is that Queen Marlena, his mother, was
Hmm.
actually an Earth astronaut, Marlena Glenn.
Oh, and then she ended up
Th-
wherever the fuck they are.
exactly, and she married Randor, and he became king, etc., etc. So him just having the name Adam Glenn, he never used that name in the cartoon or any of the lore or anything, but that shows they were paying attention. Like
Okay,
that's her
so right.
actual that would be his name on Earth.
That's interesting,
But I'm
actually. So, and I did like how I think they kind of skipped over this a little bit because they started setting up his like nobody believes me arc, and I'm gonna stay true to myself. And I was like, okay, they're gonna make a whole character arc about this, and this is how he embraces his hero. But then it's just kind of
right.
cut short with jokes like when he rips it out off the standee, and then that girl, was it his sister? No, or his love interest? I forget her name. Uh,
Tila.
Yes, Tila comes and saves him, and he's still like bumbling around, like, what the fuck is going on? So,
Yes, it was very Marvel. It was
yes.
very Marvel,
Yeah.
in the good way. Like it
Hmm.
didn't take itself too seriously, and I understand because, and I even okay. So all the characters have very silly names because of it was the '80s, and it was a toy line, and not much thought was put into it the way we put thought into geekery now.
Right.
The way they explained how all these characters got their names and even the reactions to them, like that really under like highlighted the tone that it did not take itself too seriously, but it
Hmm.
did at the right times, I think. I really appreciated so the part on Earth in the beginning I wasn't crazy about, but I got through it. I watched it, okay, and it set everything up. Then later in the film, I don't want to spoil it, but how they return to Earth, you know what I'm talking about?
Hmm.
The callback to all that. I
Hmm.
really liked that and the way that was all that stuff was reintroduced, and I felt that retroactively made the Earth stuff better
Yes, I actually
because
I know exactly what you mean. Yeah.
there was a purpose to it. I like that.
A lot
I
of
could
that
have
is
done
missing.
without,
Oh no, go ahead, finish up. Yeah, tell me.
but I could have done. It was very jokey, like that conversation he has with Skeletor at the very end. Like
Hmm.
it was very, I get it.
I don't have a face. Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah.
But it gave Skeletor the chance to be Skeletor,
Hmm.
which I appreciate. By the way, Skeletor in the lore is actually He-Man's uncle.
Was that
They
addressed at
didn't
all? Okay.
No, but they didn't. I kept an eye and ear out. They did not contradict it either. Like Randor knew him, knew who he was, but he never acknowledged him. And there's like a whole thing with that they could do if they make a sequel, which I doubt.
And that's why I kind of wanted to talk about it a little bit because a lot of these things like that we talk about, whether it's on here or in the chat or whatever, we're all like totally well versed in the like this is how it should be. What the fuck are they doing with this? I enjoyed watching this. Like, of course, I know who He-Man was, and I've seen Skeletor before, but I enjoyed watching this from a I don't know what's going on. I'm just gonna enjoy the ride kind of
Right.
thing, and it's kind of good,
That's
cool to cross-reference it with you there.
I this was definitely the way you introduce people to like with this tone. Like I wouldn't have done it as jokingly. However, my version would have had more lore and it would have
Hmm.
been denser. And so it may not have been good. Like this is good to introduce people to He-Man.
Hmm. And
I'd
I
like to
would
see a
agree.
sequel. They made references that they could set up the sequel so much. Even little things like the name of that shop that he goes to retrieve the sword.
Yeah,
That's
I don't
called the
remember it.
Fright. It's called the Fright Zone. That's the name of the dimension that is the lair of Hordak and the Horde, which are the even bigger bad uh, above
Above
Skeletor.
Skeletor. Oh shit.
Yes, yeah.
So what he's all there also
Hordak
because
is
they're no. I was gonna ask you. Yeah, please.
Hordak is like Hitler crossed with a pig, as envisioned by Adolf Hitler, or as envisioned by H.R. Giger, rather,
Okay.
is what I meant to say. It's hard to explain, but Hordak rules, and he's got
Look it up right now.
Apocalypse's powers.
Or is that a CK or K? Oh, it's a K.
K,
Yeah, I see.
it's a K.
He looks cool. Do they ever team up? Like Skeletor and Hordak, do they ever go after him together, or is Skeletor
No,
just Dunzo?
He-Man and Skeletor have to team up against Hordak.
Oh shit, that's cool. I
Skele-
like those kind of team ups, like enemy of my enemy kind of thing.
yeah, and
Um,
there's all kinds of lore with He-Man's sister, which we haven't met yet, but we could, and that involves the Horde, and there's all kinds of stuff there.
what's her name? She-Male or She-Man?
She-Ra,
Oh, okay, there you go. I
She-Ra.
figured it'd be something like that. Close enough, not bad. But yeah, no, and I liked. Honestly, I couldn't even tell it was Jared Leto for like the first good bit, like not knowing. He did a good job. Like, granted, he had a skull for a face, but voice-wise, either, I thought it was
Yeah,
good.
the voice was good. I'm wondering if he did the motion capture for it too, because the motion capture was good.
I
But
mean,
I'm
I
not.
would imagine so. Wouldn't that? I would imagine that'd be cheaper than just CGIing every movement too. You know?
This is Amazon. They threw like 300 million into this. So
What?
no,
Oh
no,
my
I don't know.
god!
I don't know how much. I don't know how much. I'm just saying by the way it looked.
No, it did look
Because
good.
I mean, they throw crazy amounts of money at things. The Lord of the Rings disaster has cost them so much, like a
Oh
billion.
yeah, but they don't care. They make that like a day from deliveries. You know? They don't care at all. They that's like chump change, drop in the bucket. But I do feel like speaking of not making their budget back, I don't think He-Man did very well, like theatrically, if I'm
No,
not mistaken.
no, it did not. Our own Tim's Totality was absolutely right when he said it should have come out 10 years ago.
That movie,
Yeah,
what do you think the
that
difference it
movie.
would have been? Because it was more fresh and less fatigue.
Because I would say I'm the target demo,
Mm.
and so I would have been in my 30s. I could have taken, the target demo, us in our 30s, we could have taken our small children to see it, and the nostalgia still kicked would have kicked up. I got big nostalgia kick off of it, but I'm a man child, and I'm mentally ill.
Ain't
So
we all?
my I was, characters would pop on screen, and I would be like, Spikor, Ram Man. Yeah, I would.
Yes, and you know it's funny. I never, and that's the thing. Like that's what another reason again why I enjoyed going into it like this because I got those inklings when he's like, "You're Ram Man, right?" And he's like, "What the fuck did you call me?" And I guess that's the moment when you're the nostalgia guys be like, "Yes, you're Ram Man." I get it. But yeah, dude,
Exactly.
I don't know. But to that point though, I think an argument could be made that it. I don't know if. Well, I see what you're saying, right? That would be, and then they get their kids into it if it came out 10 years ago. But you know, for example, how long is you know, and this is also topical. How long has Spider-Man been around? Like for a million years. You know, obviously exaggerating a bit.
Right. No, but the thing is, every generation has a Spidey, whereas He-Man does not have that many adaptations.
Mm.
There was, I mean, there was the '80s cartoon. There's the 2000s cartoon that I'm pretty fond of. The designs of that are so awesome. That one, that was the nostalgia one for me.
You talking about Spider-Man right now or He-Man?
No, no, He-Man.
Okay.
The 80s, the 2000s, and then a few years ago, around the time of the pandemic, there was another cartoon on Netflix. There was an '80s movie, and then there's this movie. There's these big gaps where He-Man was dormant as a franchise, so it wasn't. Spidey has so much material out there that it's not just easy for young people to find, but it's also easy for someone to pass down. You know what I
Great
mean?
point. And that's a great point. Honestly, I didn't think about it like that because I was ready to make the argument like, well, who cares if the product is good because we've had, 12 Spider-Man movies. But to your point, that's the very reason it can live on because in the last 25 years, there's been people being parents, a million times to that. They're like, oh, this Tobey Maguire or Andrew Garfield. And it's easy access for any generation. That's a great point. Um,
Exactly.
and to
Exactly.
segue off of that, Young Old Vibes would like to
Ah,
know.
we're
I'll
not
touch on this
answering
one.
that question. We're not answering that question without a super chat.
Oh, stop!
What is
No,
it?
I don't care about
What are
that.
we running? A charity? Actually,
Yes,
just for young old bums.
yes, for Young Old Vibes, we will absolutely do that. But yes, no worries on that. I think, I mean, you might be able to look at it more objectively because you are already like, not to age you, but you were solidified in who you were and everything by the time these things started to come out. You're already a comic book guy, a fan. But for me, I think I'm going to be biased based on my nostalgia shit. So I would like to hear your more objective answer first.
Regarding who's the best Spidey?
Yeah.
It's funny because I always thought that Andrew Garfield had the best look for Peter Parker. However, Tom Holland does a phenomenal job. His movies are the best, and his outfit is so. Ah, they nailed the eyes perfectly. The eyes were a big thing for me with
And
Spidey.
with
The
Holland,
eyes were never quite, but with the previous films, they never got the eyes quite right for me. And then another big thing with the eyes, they came up with it with a way like their lenses,
yeah,
like you know what I mean.
yeah, they
So
contract
like
and
they
restrict. Yeah,
exactly whatever the word I was looking constrict and contract. Yes, and so
you
they can
like
show
that? That's
emotion.
that's the big hit for you there,
Well, that's how they show emotion in the comics, but it's one of
right?
those only in comics things,
Hmm.
and they managed to bring that over. Young old vibe says Toby, and she's objectively wrong.
Well, I was gonna say though, and I was gonna get to this, and I
No,
might
I'm
have
kidding.
to back her up, but I do want to
The
hear. I don't
Toby
think.
films are good.
What is your answer, Holland?
I'm gonna have to go with Holland.
So both, when it comes to Peter and Spider-Man combo, you think he executes both the best?
Yeah, I wanted to give a shout out because Andrew Garfield really had like the best for me. Like if I had to cast someone based on looks, I go Holland. You were damn close, but I'm gonna go with Garfield.
You know what? I think my genuine answer is Toby, and I have gone back and watched them, even though yes, I do have a nostalgia tie there. But it to me, I think I just like Sam Raimi and the way he depicts it. Like in a way, like kind of tying back to the Nolan thing. Like he embraces the fantastical, but he also tackles the idea. But if this were to be fantastical in real, how would it look and work in real
Oh
life? And
yeah,
that's what I
that's
really
called
like. What was that?
exactly just like the original '78 Superman film. It's called verisimilitude.
Okay,
How
that
would
there's a
this
term for
work?
it.
Yeah, how would this work if it were real?
And that's what I really like about the Raimi films. And not only that aspect, which I do, big plus in my book, I think the way they kind of portrayed him, like with his family life, Aunt May, Uncle Ben, like you really felt like he was a lonely dude, but just, and going through a rough patch, but really wanted to make something better for himself and of himself, both a better life and a better person. And I think they executed that best in the Toby films, in my opinion.
Yeah, the Toby films handled the supporting cast better. The Holland films, I do like the supporting cast in the Holland films, but it's almost like Spidey doesn't get Spidey needs more solo time,
Hmm.
which sounds weird because we're on the fourth Spidey film. So you would think that. But a lot of the previous Holland films, there's he has to go to other people for help, or
Hmm.
he has to go to the guest stars. Like, you know what I mean?
Well, yeah, his first appearance. I mean, it wasn't. I know they had to introduce Spider-Man somehow, right? Because the whole MCU connective tissue. But
Hmm.
right off the bat, Tony Stark's like, "Here's a multi-million-dollar nanotech suit. Now you're Spider-Man." And it's like I
Right.
get they didn't want to rehash the origin story for the millionth
Yeah.
time, but so I see where they were coming from. But it also defeats the kind of grounded personal nature that is Spider-Man's story, the friendly neighborhood Spider-Man.
Right.
It's like, nope, we're right to
Right.
space, you know?
Yeah, Spidey has tremendous range as a character, where he's one of the few characters that is just as good on the streets as he is in like cosmic situations. Like he's been in every kind of situation. So, but we haven't seen enough street Spidey
And
in
I'm
the new
hearing
film.
reviews that the first half of this upcoming movie is just like that. In fact, I've read, headlines are headlines, so I'll, take it with a grain of salt, but they're like, oh, first half of this movie is the best Spider-Man feeling Spider-Man since Spider-Man 2, like of Raimi, which, is big praise. So I'm trying to be cautious,
Yeah.
but I don't want to go in overhyped and be like, that was fucking bullshit tagline thing.
The
But
one thing I think the thing to be cautious of is I've every review, no matter how good, has mentioned something about it being overstuffed. I think there's going to be a
this
lot of
movie,
character. This movie, this new one. So I bet there's going to be a lot of characters in it.
Oh yeah. I even that these were rumors long beforehand. And I've seen like, I think I sent it, and we went back and forth about it a little bit where they had clips of them recreating comic covers with like a cast
Yes,
of mid-level like B, C tier villains. So we know for a fact, in a way, that there's going to be a bunch of villains, but I think it's going to be in the way of like,
a
here's what
montage.
yeah, hey, you haven't heard from me in 5 years, and here's what I've been up to. It'll be like 10 seconds
Right.
of each fight kind of thing. So
Yeah,
that I
that's
think
about
is a
as
good way
much
to
time. Oh, sorry. I was gonna say that's about as much time as Ramrod deserves.
well, that's what I was gonna say. I mean, if you're gonna, because if
That is
they took the Spider-Man 3 route, and actually tried to build up 86 different characters, that probably would have been a bigger problem. Like you're talking about
right.
Ramrod. I don't even think I've heard of Ramrod other than
He's
reading
he's
about
a he's a deep cut, and I think it's less about that character and more about the visual
him. He
of
just runs
Spidey
through
hopping
shit.
over him. Yeah, just the image of him going headfirst into a wall with Spidey hopping him.
Yeah.
It's
So
just a
I'm
fun
not
image.
too worried about that. Like to come back to your point there, I'm not too worried considering that I think that's what they're doing with it. But I do think, that aside, being real, they still have to tackle Jean Grey, maybe, who knows? Shout out to the guy on the red carpet who spoiled it. Um,
Yes,
I mean, dude, they made it so far. I mean, we all kind of knew what time it was and who it was. But I mean, to make it like to the premiere and have people still going, well, we're not 100%, to just have it be like, oh yeah, Jean, dude. Jean Grey, best
and
villain
that's
ever.
and that's why I think the chatter popped up that this character was the Spider Queen from the Spider Island crossover, which is so goddamn ridiculous. It would have meant they're setting up a movie where everyone in Manhattan turns into a spider monster. And while me and Nasty Neil would love to see that movie,
That would be kind of sick.
yeah, I don't think we're there yet with Spidey. I think we got
No,
to
and
build
what
up
they should
Spider
do,
Island if we're
they
going to
should
do that.
hire Raimi to do that one. Bring all the horror
Yes,
elements in. That would be awesome, right? Bring Raimi
that
back
would
for
be
that one.
wonderful.
But yeah, but
But I think that was bots. I think that was bots meant to divert discussion away from Jean Grey. Same thing with Rachel Summers.
hmm
But the Spider, I mean, Rachel Summers was at least plausible. That's
hmm
Jean Grey's daughter from the future, but she's still an X Man, and it just would have set up, X Men and time travel shenanigans.
but that also, and to give credit to that, if that was a distraction tactic, because then you could start rationalizing the snap and from Avengers and Doctor Strange's, from No Way Home, he kept saying they're all coming through at the end. Like, I can't stop them. We
Yeah,
fucked up.
yeah,
Because Green Goblin blew up his fucking device. So then you could argue, well, that's what happened. Rachel Summers came through that crack in the sky or whatever.
they
Like,
could
that
have
was at
done
least
that.
more
Yeah,
plausible. And you could.
and in fact, Sony actually wanted this to be a multiversal movie, and Marvel said no because Sony and Marvel have to work together on these. This is technically a Sony movie, but it's got Marvel oversight. And so Marvel said no multiverse. However, as a compromise, they let them use a bunch of MCU characters. Thus, Sony was like, "Give us Hulk and Punisher, and and Jean Grey."
I kind of I'm kind of stoked about that. And Willem Dafoe is the best everything, including Green Goblin. That I will say before, because we were just talking about No Way Home. Before we get too far away from it, I think him
Yeah,
coming back to that role, fucking like, there's nobody else who was born for that role, like in live action.
I love that they didn't even need a mask for him. He didn't even need a mask.
No,
Just
and
his
that his
face.
evil laugh is right. The way his face looks when he does that maniacal laugh, like you believe there's like some fucked up thing in his head, like just making him a maniacal monster, which is what his Goblin and Osborn different personalities are.
Exactly. I was thinking because Young Old Vibes brought up Willem Dafoe is the best Green Goblin, and that's absolute. However, I don't. Oh wait, there was another Green Goblin that was in the Garfield series,
hmm
wasn't there?
Yes,
That's
uh,
right.
and I was gonna say, just because we're talking all the, and I could talk about this shit forever, but when I was talking about who's the best Spider-Man, I do think it's Toby, but I think the best suit Like bar none, in my opinion, is Amazing like Spider-Man 2's Big Eye, like Spider-Man's like the one with Electro and Green Goblin. That one I
I
think
got
is
you.
my favorite one. But yeah, and
I
I don't hate how they did the Green Goblin in that movie. At least kind of the build up to it. I really didn't hate it. But what say you?
Do you remember that actor's name? Who was the
Uh,
second Green Goblin?
fuck. I know it,
It's
but it's on the
okay.
tip of my tongue.
It's funny because he was one of those actors that Hollywood tried to push as being the next big thing, and he was just rejected.
Because I just saw
Um,
him in a movie with the one that's about space. If you know what I'm talking about.
the one with the Enchantress from Suicide Squad,
Yes, that's exactly. I forget her name too,
Cara
but that's exact.
Delevingne,
Yes, he was in a movie with her not that long ago, so he's trying to claw up there.
Valerian and the
Yes,
City of a Thousand Worlds or something like that. It
yes.
was Valerian and yada yada.
I'm gonna look up
Yeah,
his name. But yeah, go on.
Dane DeHaan.
Dahan. Yes, that's right.
DeHaan. There we go. But yeah, he was very forgettable. He was really miscast in Valerian.
This is an insane pull from Young Old Vibes. I think she's referring to the fact that I think Steve Bloom voices Green Goblin in games and animation. If you're familiar with Steve Bloom, he's a
I'm
powerhouse.
not. That's cool too.
He voices because I'm a huge like Call of Duty Zombies nerd too, and he voices one of the main characters there. And I followed his career, and I'm like 99% sure he voices Green Goblin in games and stuff.
Does everyone know the Green Goblin's first cinematic appearance?
I'm assuming the easy answer or the is Spider-Man 1, but is that not true?
It was Stephen King's Maximum Overdrive in the mid '80s. It was the movie
What?
Stephen King. It was the movie Stephen King directed. High, just yacked up on cocaine. Doesn't remember any of the filming. It's a movie about all the electronic appliances and devices on Earth just start killing people, and it's this warped horror comedy. But the big bad in that film is a truck, a circus truck, with the Green Goblin's face on it, and it's referred to,
Oh,
like in the script at least, as the Green Goblin.
well there you go. I mean, how did they get away with that?
Oh no, they licensed it.
Okay, I was gonna be like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
That would have been. I know it was before the big bucks were being made, but still, yeah, classic. But no, I think to kind of bring it back because we were talking about how the fuck are they gonna handle all the characters. I think that I've hoped they've learned their lesson. You know, they tried it like 3 times now, and twice it basically killed the franchise, right? Because if I'm not mistaken, there was supposed to be a Raimi Spider-Man 4, but um,
yeah.
that ended up falling through. And same with the third Garfield movie.
And the lizard was going to be the villain. He was supposed to be the villain in three. That's why they set up Peter's teacher with one arm. He
Hmm.
turns into the lizard.
Dr.
That's Kurt
Connors.
Connors.
Yeah.
Exactly. He was supposed to be the lizard in part three, but the executives meddled. A familiar story. They
Hmm.
wanted Venom because the kids want Venom, and
Hmm.
Sam Raimi actually doesn't like Venom because he didn't grow up reading the comics with Venom.
Interesting. Now, I
He
mean, I
wanted to
would take
use
the director's choice over, you know, because if he's the one passionate about it.
with with a director of Raimi's caliber, absolutely. But this is Hollywood we're talking about.
A tried and true tale that never changes. It's always about the corporate meddling. What was I going to say? But yeah, and you know what I would think is interesting about the whole turning everyone into spiders thing? They did do that, or almost did, in Amazing Spider-Man 1 with Garfield, because he's going to turn the whole city into lizards. That was Dr.
Yes,
Connor's whole. So that Spider Queen, Dr. Connors, maybe that could have been a cool combo. Lizard people and spider people.
spider lizard people.
That'd be some fucked up shit. But I don't know. I'm cautiously optimistic, man. I mean, the way they're hyped. I mean, you can almost never go wrong with Spider-Man. But I know there's room for mistakes. Don't get me wrong. I'm not gonna
Yeah,
be
but
as
all these, I have to say, these the current Spidey films with Holland, they know that these are their billion-dollar cash cows, so
Hmm.
they treat them very carefully. They're not sloppy the way they are with other films. For example, Captain America was kind of thrown together. The last one, like
Was that was
Brave
Civil
New
War? Was
World.
oh right, I see. There it goes to show you. I almost fucking completely forgot about that movie. Yeah,
Exactly, exactly.
and that was
And that
because
was
right, we had talked about how it was supposed to have a completely different
villain.
like yeah, and then they threw what's his name, Giancarlo in there.
Yeah, Giancarlo Esposito as as a Sidewinder. Yes,
Hmm.
he was going to be played by Seth Rollins. That's his name. I couldn't think of the name. The wrestler.
Hmm. So really, so not only
Lizard.
did they throw that in there, but they changed the actors completely. Yeah, I know, right? Badass.
Well, not only does it sound like a sci-fi original, that's what they would call it.
Yes, they would.
Just like Patrice O'Neill said, if sci-fi made Jurassic Park, they would have called it Dinosaur Forest.
Did he really say that? That's just dude.
Yes,
Patrice is fucking
he was
hysterical.
100% correct.
Well, yeah,
He
I
was
mean, hello,
complaining.
there's Sharknado, dude. That's a little
Well,
on the nose too.
he was complaining about mega shark versus giant octopus, and how giant octopus didn't even have a name.
It's just giant octopus. Nah,
Not
Patrice
even
is funny
ultra
as fuck, dude.
megapus.
Yeah, is that what he wanted to call it?
No, I'm just throwing words
I would
together with
believe
puss
that.
because it's funny.
Yeah, well, at least it's better than just giant octopus. Yeah, I think sci-fi. I think their channel, like once Sharknado came out, I think just leading into full camp is where they realized that's where they belong, just being fully campy. That's the whole
God.
thing there. But yeah, dude, we could finish up on the Spider-Man or finish up on the Spider-Man topic because I really do want to talk a little bit about like I don't know. I'm just a huge nerd for it. I think that's why we're doing this. But it's you only get this once every few years, and I just worry that like you have to do it right, dude. Like you have to. And I know that's like rarely ever perfect, but it's one of those things like I'm only gonna see it for the first time once, and I kind of almost
Right.
dread it in a way, you know?
Welcome to my world. It's of Superman fandom.
Right. Oh my God, yeah. Poor you, dude. You haven't really been able to catch a break when it comes to that. Uh, did you like Man of Steel?
No.
Uh oh. I only watched it a couple of years ago for the first time. Never saw it in theaters. I didn't hate it personally. But again, kind of like He-Man. Of course, I have a little more exposure to Superman and stuff. But I just knowing who Superman is, I did like. I'm pretty sure this is Man of Steel, where like the first 20 minutes is on Krypton, right? And they fight with Zod.
Yeah, the
Th-
first 90 minutes aren't bad, but the next 90 minutes, it's 9/11 porn.
Yeah, yeah, and that's not very Superman, is it?
It's out of control. It's
Hmm.
completely out of control. But there's a lot to it. I'm not gonna ruin it for you, but there's a lot I can say about Man of Steel.
Oh, I've seen
But
it. Go ahead.
it starts with the fact that the movie is called Man of Steel, and yet the protagonist is bent to the will of multiple different people throughout the course of the film. I
I think
I
they were
don't even
referring to his skin, but I'm getting what you're getting at. Picking up what you're putting down.
no. I mean, that's a common misconception. It's the man
Please,
inside,
there you go. Educate me, educate us. Cause
but
see,
it's all
that's
good.
that's how I looked at it. Like, I can see why they did that though, because I think he
No,
constantly.
they
Go ahead.
called it I'm sorry to interrupt. They called it
Yeah, you're
Man
good.
of Steel because they're embarrassed by Superman. Because
Really?
the people making it are look at the way Superman was utilized in the Snyder trilogy.
Yeah.
In the Snyder cut, he was a Pokemon to be chosen and unleashed at the end because Snyder literally did not want to deal with it.
Yeah. And but the part of me that can almost respect the whole at least trying to look at it from how that they were trying to frame it. The whole like he's an alien there, and Zod comes and it's like, well, yeah, if you don't surrender Superman, like I'm just gonna kill everybody. You know, it's that simple. So I can see why he then feels the need to be like, yes, government, I will help you because I don't want you to give me up or hate me after this or
No, that
shit like that.
that part makes sense, but it's also there because there's this thing that a lot of filmmakers do. The rationale is, I'm going to show you something you've never seen before. So the idea is Superman handcuffed, like being arrested. Like that was the image. Like, did you notice how much that picture was publicized?
Yes, make it edgy, but also like it's just silly to me, and I know he willingly did it, right? To the whole point. Well, if I don't, align with them, there's gonna be a huge war and the destruction of Earth probably, and that's why I left Krypton to avoid that again. But
Yeah.
like he could so easily just do that.
Right.
Like who are we kidding? Like why is that the big promotional imagery? Like dude, just do this, you know?
Right. And it's I don't I don't
Snyder directed or produced Man of Steel.
directed. Snyder was not the right choice for DC Comics to head the universe. Snyder is a tremendous visual director. Tremendous visual director. Fantastic with action.
Looked good.
Terrible scripts. Terrible scripts, especially if he writes them. With Batman versus Superman, someday I'll tell you about how he didn't get the script and he actually fucked it up.
What? Like he didn't
Because
understand the script? You mean? Oh, I was gonna.
the,
I
the
thought he was
script,
flying blind.
all right,
Yeah.
the script, the way it was written, Batman was supposed to be wrong. However, Snyder was really into Batman because Snyder is, we're going to get into philosophy a little bit, but he's a Randian objectivist. And what that basically means is fuck people, I got mine. I'm better than most people. Like, a Randian objectivist is literally the worst type of person to head up the most white bread traditional superhero universe. He literally doesn't believe in altruism and optimism.
Now, is that your take on Batman, or is that Snyder's take on Batman?
Keep your voice down. Thank you.
That's hold on a second. Repeat that.
I was gonna say, is that your take on Batman, or is that like is that how Snyder looked
Oh,
at it?
no, what happened with Snyder is he loves Batman because Batman's badass, like Rorschach. But what he didn't get is the way the script worked. Batman was wrong. Batman's lost his humanity. You see the visual representation of this when he's got Batman eyes in the armor.
Yeah.
And then at the very end, the one of the eyes is broken, so his eyes is his actual eye is visible. It's the humanity.
Ah, I see now. So that's what they were going
That's
for
what
there.
it was. That's what it was supposed to be. But I don't even want to talk about the Snyder films. I think they were. There was a lot of good stuff in there. There was just more bad stuff, like underneath.
Right. It's just, I
And
think they just wanted to speed run into whatever the hell Marvel was chefing up.
yes, and that's one of those things. I don't want to sit here and rip on Snyder because Snyder was basically told, all right, you have, so you're doing a sequel to Superman. We want you to introduce Lex Luthor, and we want you to kill Superman, and we want you to introduce the Justice League, and we want you to have Batman fight Superman. Like, all this
And Wonder Woman.
crap
Don't forget Wonder Woman.
that introduced the Justice League.
Yeah. And Doomsday.
Like, I mean, we were talking about overstuffed with Spidey. That film, Batman v Superman, like a legal document. See,
Yeah, right.
VS is combat, V is legal. But UFC has popularized V, so now people use that. But I'm like, damn it, I'm a stickler. It's VS.
No, I know what you mean. That's what I always think when you play a game. It's VS. That's what
Yeah.
I'd always think. And it's
Whereas
always the
when
state versus Superman, or v Superman, for example.
yeah,
Yeah, I'm picking up what you're putting down there. Yeah, but we don't have to go down trauma lane for you and talk about Snyder too much.
It's not trauma, it's sadness. It
Disappointment.
could have been so much more, and then the problem was that out of desperation they went to gun. And so we have the overcorrection, we have the sloppiness, we have the rushed film, we have the mess that was this most recent Superman film. What a mess.
You didn't like it?
It's such a mess. And like I can describe it similar to Snyder, where there is some good stuff, but there's so much more bad stuff under the surface. And that's another film that is ashamed of its own protagonist.
The new
James
one?
Gunn does not James Gunn does not like Superman. It's very obvious.
Well, because he's always talking about, the comics. Like, he's this is one of my favorite comics guy. But meanwhile, you're thinking he fucking hates him?
Yeah, I don't whatever James Gunn has made a lot of public statements that have been proven to be false. So I wouldn't take anything he says on publicity with a grain of salt. I would take anything he says with a grain of salt, rather.
I got you.
But I mean, whether he likes the comics or not, it doesn't matter. He just doesn't like Superman. It's very obvious.
That's such a shame. And it's funny because then it's, of course, someone whose bright idea is to get the guy who doesn't like Superman to launch the new version of the DCU, starting with Superman, and maybe that'll work out better than the first time. I don't know what the hell's going on.
You know what we need to do? We need to get the guy whose absolute strength is C and D list characters and reinterpreting them for the not for the traditional way, and then just put him in charge of the most traditional white bread superhero characters.
Right.
And I mean, it's already the Gunverse has already been mismanaged to shit. You know, Clayface is the introduction of Batman into this world.
You think Batman's going to be in that movie?
No, well, okay, it's the introduction of Gotham City into this world.
I wouldn't have minded a cameo, because, I mean, someone's got to stop him, right?
And it's a prequel. And I don't think he's going to Clayface out until the very end.
Of course, that scene of the shadow against the wall where he's got the spike ball hand beating somebody down, I bet you that's where it fades to black and the credits start type shit. You know what I'm saying? I know exactly what you're talking about. Really quick, though, I did look it up because I remember hearing something about this. And
yes,
Snyder estimated the civilian death toll from that Metropolis battle that you were talking about was 9/11 porn was 5,000 people. Like, that's his personal estimate. And
no,
I don't think... Oh, go ahead.
I read an article that estimated the damage in the body count. The body count was 6 digits.
Get out of here, dude.
The damage was 9 digits. I don't remember the amount. I don't even remember where the article was. Let's see if I can find it. Oh, by the way, the Maya Hawke comments were her talking about how lame acting is, and then Winona Ryder bitched her out for it.
Yeah, good. Because it's like, how can you... Like, you have a once in a trillion lifetimes opportunity just because you were born into it. Right. And you're like, fuck this shit. I don't care. I don't care if I get paid $1 million. Good job. But her mom did a good job being like, what the fuck's wrong with you? But yeah, no, that's insane because, I'm way more into the Marvel side of things personally, especially not the biggest Superman guy. But I wouldn't think he would ever allow that kind of death to happen if he could do something.
He was all about it. He was
throwing them through the buildings, lasering through the buildings, like setting off foundations.
Right. The physical property damage to the city of Metropolis was estimated at roughly $750 billion. When factoring in, even more than I thought, when factoring in the total economic impact, cleanup, and lost productivity, the cost balloons to $2 trillion.
Oh my God.
Disaster experts modeled the destruction caused by the Kryptonian world engine and the subsequent brawling, comparing it to an airburst nuclear explosion without the lingering radiation. Analysts estimated that the event would result in 129,000 confirmed dead, 250,000 missing, and nearly 1 million injured.
What the fuck? Like, who thought that was a good idea? I mean, it's a good spectacle on screen, but that totally defeats the purpose of his character, like,
Well, that's
entirely.
that's why he needed a different writer. For scale, the physical damage from the September 11th attacks cost about 55 billion, roughly 123 billion in total economic impact, making the Man of Steel fictional devastation proportionately massive.
Yeah, that's like 10 times the amount. And see, I can see what they tried to do at the beginning of Batman v Superman then, because I think probably
Yes.
by the time that came out, they realized how ridiculous that is. So then they put you in Batman's shoes witnessing, like, from a civilian level, and the little girl and all that crap. I can see that they were trying to pivot with it, but what's done is done, you know?
Right, right.
And do you think they did that just to set up Batman v Superman? And throw that one out
No,
there.
no, they
Okay.
no, they weren't planning on it. They weren't planning on Batman. Batman was a panic move because Man of Steel did not make as much as it was supposed to.
It's always about money at the end of the day, ain't it?
Yeah.
So they, I mean, that kind of explains how ridiculous. Because also, isn't Lex Luthor in that movie? Or at least I interpret it as, and maybe justified it in my head to look how, because he's totally the long hair. What's his name?
Jesse
Uh,
Eisenberg.
yeah, isn't he like Lex Luthor's son in that movie, like Lex Junior?
He's Lex Luthor. He mentions being abused by his father, which a lot of people interpreted it. Plus his age, people were like, "That's not Lex Luthor. That's got to
And he
be."
said the company's named after my father. Like, so you call
Oh
me
yeah.
something else. He did mention that, so that's where I got that from. But if that's supposed to be Lex Luthor? Like, what an odd choice. You pick like the
He,
squirreliest guy and give him the opposite haircut because Lex Luthor has no
it
hair.
was
Let's give him long hair. You know?
well, he at the end he his head gets shaved for no reason. Eisenberg, the thought process was, imagine if what's his name from Facebook?
Mark Zuckerberg.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Imagine if Mark Zuckerberg were a villain and like we're a sociopath. And like one of the things they did, and I don't think it worked, but I get what they were trying to do. Throughout that film, Lex is constantly invading people's boundaries in private space. That's
Yes.
the Jolly Rancher scene.
That's what I thought of. Yep.
Yep, the Jolly Rancher. When he gets shot down by Senator Holly Hunter, I forgot her name. Um, he gets her back with Granny's peach tea.
Hmm.
Like again, he violates her. He's violating people left and right. When Superman is brought to his knees and he's throwing all the pictures of his mom tied up
Yep.
on him,
Yep.
he touches the side of his head because he's again invading his space. It's
Hmm.
I get it because it just I didn't like it.
Yeah, and I get it too. Like a fearless, condescending, like you said, like sociopath. Like I make Superman bow down to me, so I basically can own
Right.
him and treat him like an animal. I see what they were going for too. I mean, see, that's the thing with all of these like insane blow ups in the face of what they're attempting. There's always like these nuggets of, huh, if only they did that the right way, kind of things. You
Right.
know?
And what another thing that's frustrating is film really is a collaborative process, even though, like, we'll be like, okay, this is a Christopher Nolan film. Yeah, but it was, he worked with these producers, so they brought this to the table. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So a lot of times you'll find those nuggets where it's like, oh, that could have been a good idea, but somewhere along the way it got messed up in transition.
Yeah, and it's also the people. Like, it also depends who you hire. Like, even when it comes
Oh,
down to the
yes.
choreography and even the actors themselves. Like, you have to be careful with that because, like we were just saying, great example, Jesse Eisenberg. You wouldn't imagine in a million years that's your number one pick for Lex Luthor. But then, in turn, some of those little things, okay, I see what you were going for. It's just, so I see what you're saying. It's not as simple as at least I'll say, I try to make it seem sometimes where it's like, dude, just fucking stick to the IP and just do it right. But you're right. There's a lot of seats at the table, a lot of heads bouncing off each other. So shit's
Right.
bound to come out different sometimes. You know, it's never gonna be perfect, for better or worse.
Right. Never let
Which is
perfect be the enemy of the good.
right, which is why I am a little, I'll say, like cautiously optimistic. I am going to see Spider-Man on Saturday night. So I'm trying my best to steer clear of spoilers, but you know, with the way the internet is, and who knows? I'll try my best. Um, Apparently that I did hear the post-credit scene. There's only one, like no mid and post. But I heard that through like a critic screening, people were just like even the critics were like, really? That's your post-credit scene? So I don't know what they're trying to shoehorn in. Like maybe they're bringing, because you know how Venom was left behind in
Right.
this universe. I don't know if they're gonna, because like you said, it is a Sony movie, and we know they love their fucking Venom. So
Yes, they do.
for some reason,
I have no idea. Again, they wanted to make it a multiversal movie, so we can we it's not going to be Doctor Doom or anything related to Secret Wars.
well, did you know what that was going to entail? Was there any inkling of that?
No, no, just that they wanted it to be a multiverse movie.
Like all the Spider-Men come back again and all the different villains again?
Maybe it would have been like closer to Spider-Verse, so you would have live action Miles Morales,
Gotcha.
bring in Nicolas Cage as Spider Noir since he played him live action.
hmm Did you like that, by the way? Did you see it?
I only saw the first half of the first episode, and then I wasn't able to finish it. Not because of the I had other things going on, so I wasn't able to get back to it.
So not because you're like, this is dog shit, I'm turning it off.
No, 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 no. It had nothing
Okay.
to do with the quality. So I didn't get a chance to like get into it. The only thing I noticed, Nicolas Cage looks great for his age. However, his voice is really starting to go. Like
Yeah.
he's got the voiceover, and the voiceover sounds like an old mush-mouthed man.
I see what you're saying. Like when people reach a certain age, like they get almost like a frill to it. Like it's not their
Yeah.
voice, and it's like I know what you're talking about.
It
Um,
really sounds like this.
Yeah, exactly. And it's a little. I finished it, and I will pull up. Thank you, Metal Gear Solid. I'll pull that up in a second. But I did want to say, since I asked you if you see it, I would say, knowing how much you're into it and you care about lore, I think they did pull out some obscure characters and do some really cool things with them. I think they did a great job with that, even on, a lesser scale. Like you're not gonna get the most insane fights, but the way they did, like Sandman, and it's not Electro, it's Megawatt. It's like same power, different guy. But they did a good job. So I would recommend it if you get the chance. But anyway,
Megawatt.
yeah, Megawatt. It's like look them up. It's basically Electro, but from the 1940s. But Metal Gear
Okay.
Solid asks, what made you get into superheroes, Werewolf?
So, I can answer this question, but not without oversharing.
Mm.
So I
You
can
dance
but
around it
what
if
I'm-
you can.
Nah, I can't dance around it. What I can do is ask you, boss, to be ready to change subjects quickly.
Yeah, okay,
So-
sure.
Pop a bullet in the chamber and get ready.
Mhm.
All right. So when I
You
was
can
in
do whatever
Brit-
you're comfortable with, by the way. Just letting you know.
Hi. The person not only asked a question, but they asked a question and paid for it. So, I was in grade school. I was in Catholic school. There wasn't a school bus. My mother would pick me up and drop me off and pick me up. After school, she would take me to this Bradley's that was nearby our house.
What is that? Restaurant?
Oh, it's a department store.
Okay.
Like a much smaller Target of the 80s.
So is this the Werewolf of Sicily origin story, basically?
Well,
How you
part of
became
it,
the
yeah.
werewolf? Okay.
And I didn't know that I was being abandoned because I just went straight to the magazine section and I loved it. And I read all the comic books. So That's how I got into all the comic books. And there were these three magazines. It was Starlog, which was all about sci-fi fantasy movies, Fangoria, which was all about horror movies, and then Comic Scene, which was all about comic movies. And they were, I didn't even know at the time, they were put out by the same publishing house, of course. But I mean, that was like the internet of the for me at least,
Right.
because that's where all the rumors were. That's where everything was. And I would be left in that store for hours just by myself.
Did any of the staff ever be like, "Hey, kid, what are you still doing here?" They never cared.
No.
Hey, at least you had the space to yourself. Is that your story? I don't want to cut you off, but I'm trying to keep that bullet.
No, that's it. That's it.
Okay. Yeah, so I was gonna say though, Fangoria, to transition off of that, my dad used to get like have a subscription to those, and I used to look into he had a couple issues on the Universal monsters, and I didn't know, how naive I am, but I can't be. I guess I wasn't into everything at once when I was younger. It's hard, especially these days. There's fucking million things. Oh, nice. I didn't really know until they were launching that new theme park down there. That's like specifically for. Have you heard of it?
Yes.
The Dark Universe. You have Frankenstein. Like they have, that like Spider-Man ride I was telling you about in the chat and stuff. Like they did that again, but it's like for Victoria Frankenstein. She's like trying to capture all of the. And this is how I found out that literally they own like every whatchamacallit, like big screen monster. Because he's like, yeah, so
classic monsters.
Right, thank you. Yeah, so Frankenstein's like the new one, Frankenstein's monster, the new one. She's like, I perfected him, and now I'm gonna capture the Wolfman, Dracula, the Swamp Thing.
Creature from
Swamp
the Black
Thing's DC.
Lagoon.
Thank you. You knew where I was going. And I was like, holy shit, you own all of these? Like, Universal must have made a killing back then. Like, literally all the big monsters.
Horror kept Universal alive when it was a small studio, and then they built their house on horror. So a lot of us horror nerds can get resentful because horror is rarely respected in the industry. It's a lot better now than it used to be. Like major studios are willing to put out horror movies now. And they're cleaning up at the awards and they're making huge bank at the box office.
I mean, but the thing is, a lot of these horror movies now aren't based on, like, Obsession, for example. It's not based on those classic monsters, and I think there's a missing, there's a market for it, I think. And I think they almost did, correct me if I'm wrong, really quick, though, before we get too far away, Metal wants to thank you for sharing that story, and you did a good job, and you had a similar experience. But that was fine. You did good. I think there was at one point, once Marvel was taken off big with the MCU, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, they were trying to organize, like, a Dark Universe cinematic universe. Like, with their monsters.
Yes. And they should make a documentary about the making of Dark Universe because they did everything wrong. Starting with announcing the big name actors in like a promotional shoot before they even had scripts.
Oh, so you're saying... Because I think I remember seeing like a black and white image of like them all sitting on a couch or something. Like
yeah, they're all sitting and they're all in suits and whatnot.
Yeah. So you mean they're like, you're this character, you're this character, you're this character. Well, we don't have directors, we don't have scripts, we don't have fucking shit yet.
Right.
I mean, okay, that's one way to do it. Shell out all the money on the talent and have none of the work done. Good idea. Ice Dancer just wants to show off the fish emoji here. Figured I'd give that there.
All right.
But go ahead. I didn't want to cut you off.
Oh no, I was done. I didn't have anything else to say.
Because, and I do find that, yeah, I just do find that interesting that, like, right there, because it just came to my mind, because I was like, dude, why haven't they, like, you have, Obsession, and, like, these Possession, and, fucking, Conjurings, and, the Insidiouses, like, it's basically all the same movie, with some of the same actors. Like, what's the lead in Conjuring? Do you know his name? He's also Owlman
Yeah.
in Watchmen.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about. I forgot his name.
As long as you know what I'm talking about, that's fine because he's the lead in both Conjuring and Insidious. And it's like so they're just remaking the same movies. There's a huge missing like there's a market for them to just make these fucking movies of the countless monsters they own. Because people are getting away
Right.
with making the same possession stories with the same actors, just different titles. So,
One of the things that's really frustrating with the Universal monsters, and this is a problem that comes up with Superman and the DC characters, it's the argument of, well, we tried it the traditional way, now we're going to try it a new way. And it's like, no, you actually didn't. You actually didn't. For example, they made a Wolfman movie in 2010 that was very traditional Wolfman. However, it was disappointing. Even with great actors and atmosphere and a kick-ass Wolfman design,
I think they're
it
coming out with
wasn't.
another one with Willem Dafoe as the Wolfman. I think I heard of that.
That's called Werewolf.
Oh, so it's your movie.
Yes, the Wolfman is a specific type of werewolf, but every
Gotcha.
werewolf is not a Wolfman.
Okay, so Wolfman's the Universal one. So that's not in production. So we're still in barren wastelands of Universal monsters. Got it.
Right, right.
Hi,
Although they
Latanya.
just put out the Mummy remake.
Tom Cruise.
No, 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 no. This is a completely new one. It's a possession story with the little girl.
I have that on my watch list. I'm probably gonna watch it after this. Is it any good?
It looks interesting. I haven't
Oh, you
seen it
never
yet.
saw it. And now is that based on, Oh, for example, Universal has that ride Revenge of the Mummy. I almost forgot. Like they literally have everything. I don't know why they don't. Whatever. I'm gonna keep asking the same question because it keeps blowing my mind. Like, dude, do something with
Because
these characters.
probably there's probably an element of the people working at Universal being like, yeah, but these are all corny. It's Halloween costumes, not some, and they don't get that they're iconic at this point.
hmm Like everyone knows who Frankenstein is. I mean, most people mistake the monster as Frankenstein, but you get the point. Like everybody and their mother knows who that is. Like it's
Well, it's
easy.
like you were saying, they own them. With the public domain characters, with Dracula and Frankenstein, they own the most famous versions of those characters. So that like whenever people think of Frankenstein or Dracula, they think of Karloff and Lugosi.
You know, it's actually, and you bring a great point. I almost completely forgot. Like, there's 100-year limit or whatever on
I think
like ownership,
75. I think.
something like
I think
that. And
75 after the author's death. I don't know. I think.
um, I'll have to double check that. But it does
Yeah.
bring me back to remembering that a couple of years ago, like Mickey, but not Mickey Mouse, like the original version where he's the steamboat one.
Steamboat Willie.
Yes, that um, that lapsed. Whether whichever conditions it was, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But then all of a sudden, 86 horror movies are coming out because obviously Disney would never do such a thing. So then everyone was
Yeah.
like, "Let's make it a horror movie," and they were all like, low budget, bullshit. But
Yeah.
um,
That's why they're successful. Because they're actually low budget, so they're making good money. They even have a cinematic universe with those horror films, with the
like
evil
Winnie the Pooh,
Bambi, the evil Winnie the Pooh, the evil Pinocchio. Yep, those are real horror films.
I never saw Blood and Honey. That's what it's called, right?
Blood and Honey. That's right.
I heard there's like two of them. I never saw either of them, but I heard the second one is actually like okay.
I haven't seen either of them. I think it really depends on how into the concept you are. You know what I mean?
Right. Like an evil, because I think the whole lore there is that Christopher Robin, like he grew up and just left them in the fucking woods, and they almost starved to death, so they start eating people. I'm pretty sure
The
that's the story.
lore.
There. The lore, yes. But yeah, I'm pretty sure he just got left. They got left behind, and they had started eating each other and other people to stay alive. It's
Oh my
ridiculous.
god.
I know.
I
Well, I
want to
mean, I
know.
guess you don't need much. You don't need much to justify it because it's like, holy shit, it's a killer Winnie the Pooh. You don't really need to
Right.
go that deep. But what were you saying?
It's. I was gonna riff on Bambi. I'm curious to see Bambi because that one, it's a slam dunk. It's Bambi's mother gets shot, and now Bambi wants revenge.
John Wick, John Bambi,
There you go.
right? Instead of his dog, it's like, you killed Bambi's mother, the Bambi. That would actually be kind of
Supergirl
cool.
Supergirl tried to tap into some John Wick energy with its dog plot line. It was very obviously John Wick inspired.
I never saw it, but I know I still never saw Super. I'm sure it'll be on HBO in like a day because I'm sure it underperformed. I don't have the numbers, but I'm sure it didn't do as well as they wanted.
Oh no,
But I know.
it's a complete disaster actually.
Uh-oh, it's that bad, huh?
Oh yeah, it's going to lose over $100 million. I don't remember the exact amount, and that's just what they're reporting, which means it's going to be a lot more. Spidey is going to make more than Supergirl's worldwide gross in its opening weekend.
I believe it.
Oh, it
See
already
what?
has the advanced tickets.
No, you mean like people already just bought them? It's already
Yeah.
like basically as soon as that showing is done, we count it in the money counter, huh? Holy shit.
Yeah.
I was gonna say yes, and to talk about that, I did see in the trailer. It's like this. I don't even know who the fuck the guy is, but he like shoots a poison dart at Crypto, and then it's just like, well, now here's the movie, right? She has to go figure out how to save him.
Yeah, she has to go to multiple planets, all of which look the same, brown and yellow and sepia tone.
Yay!
It's terrible. It's very derivative. You can
What is it?
see
Do you think that? No, go ahead. Finish your thought.
well, you can see the Mad Max in it. You could see the John Wick in it. You can see what movies the writer, who is not very experienced, watched that inspired them to write the movie.
Yeah, and I can definitely see that because Mad Max is also very yellow and got that kind of vibe to it. But I was gonna actually follow up with you being the big lore guy yourself and way more into DC. Like I don't get me wrong, I like Batman a lot. But that's pretty much all I can say. I'm like fuck yeah on when it comes to DC. But what do you think
I,
it is when it comes to their franchise? Like why can't they get their feet like their leg up here, no matter how many times they try?
it's because Warner Brothers is one of the most mismanaged companies on earth. That's why they've been through multiple mergers. That's why they're going through a merger now. That's why they were facing bankruptcy. That's why the CW network, when it was sold off, it wasn't sold off. Another company acquired its debt. This was actually reported. The CW network lost a dollar, like it never made money.
I mean, well, because the CW, I mean, I almost want to be like, well, that doesn't surprise me because CW Network's always like a memed thing, like, oh, what is this on the CW? But at the same time, like, I think one could argue they did like their DC superhero stories better than any of the movie attempts have had. It's budget considered, right, within their limitations, but one could argue that.
Budget aside, they were more cohesive.
Hmm.
But that also brings. How do I put this? So, superheroes adopted the soap opera model in the '60s with Stan Lee with Marvel. So it was a serial format rather than an episodic format. So the modern superhero works better in a serialized TV format, like in a series, rather than a movie. Or to put it another way, why do we have to wait 3 years, 4 years between Spider-Man movies when there's all these running subplots that we want to know about? What happened to this character? What happened to that character? The supporting cast, especially in Marvel, is built for that soap opera. That's such a dated term. I bet there's people watching this going, "What the hell's a soap opera?"
Yeah, but that makes
But
sense. Yeah.
But that format.
I see what you're saying, and that's probably why it worked. But they've been able to pull it off in movies. That's also probably not true because Marvel also does a lot of, or did, because they've been pulling back on it. But like they've made a million shows to kind of sublet and take place of what's going on with this character. It's like, oh, so now here's a show all about like the Agents of
Yeah.
Shield. I think was one of the first ones, and
Right.
Oh, and the
And
Secret
they
Wars, which I heard was terrible. I never even watched it. Or what's
Secret
Secret
Wars,
Wars? No, it's
Armor Wars, or
the
Secret Invasion.
yes, Secret Invasion is what I'm thinking of.
Oh,
With
Armor Wars wasn't used. That's right. Well, Secret Invasion was a Nick Fury hit job, but that's beside the point. Um, it's really it is. You can marvel at the fact that Disney has introduced dozens of characters in the MCU over the past decade, and none of them stuck.
like what happened to Captain Marvel, Miss Marvel, whatever the other one was in that movie.
I don't see
Um,
them in Secret Wars or Doomsday.
no, not Doomsday. Yeah, no, they weren't on that Doomsday stage. By the way, I don't think. I think I might have sent this to you guys. I think I did, where it was like, I don't think. Speaking of, Holland Spider-Man is going to be in Secret Wars or Doomsday, I should say. I'm not sure about Secret Wars. Um, you know what I mean?
Yeah, he said something on the red carpet that was a
The dance too. I love it.
well, he basically said I'm not in Doomsday without saying I'm not in Doomsday.
Right.
He's gonna be in Secret Wars, but he's not in Doomsday.
And apparently during when they showed the trailer for Doomsday, like the newer one, that I don't think, unless it's leaked or whatever, which I know there's audio or whatever, I sent that too. Apparently they're using McGuire's Spider-Man like in the montage, when they introduced the Marvel logo. So
Right.
it lends to
Like, yeah.
believe, that that's what's going on there instead.
More than likely.
Um, which I do kind of. I mean, I guess I don't really care. I just would hate for I don't care that like Spider-Man's, even though I love some Spider-Man, I do. I worry that they're just going to just basically bastardize an entire trilogy just for the sake of shock value. I think you started to say this yourself. So please go ahead if you've got thoughts on that.
Yeah, Toby's there, just like you said. I mean, spoilers. If you don't want spoilers, go elsewhere, because I got to discuss this.
Yep.
Toby's world gets destroyed in the opening sequence. So they
That's
do
what
that
Professor X is looking at.
Exactly. That's the shock value you're talking about.
It's like, but why would you? I mean, I guess the answer is shock value. Wow, look at all this is at stake. It's basically manufactured stakes, like something you used to give a shit about, and now
Right.
it's gone right before your eyes. Now you care. It's like,
I'm
come on.
sure their thought process is that series is over. However, they don't realize that they could bring Sam Raimi and Tobey Maguire back for a Spider-Man movie, and people would be so excited.
I mean, well, look at No Way Home.
Yeah, especially if it were that Renew Your Vows. They did people were so upset about what happened with Spider-Man's marriage that they did a series where it was like, what if we didn't annul the marriage?
Right.
So it's them still married with a daughter, May. She's adorable, and then in future stories she ends up as Spider-Girl and then eventually Venom. It's a whole thing.
Wait, really? That's interesting.
Yeah.
Actually, I think that's
Yeah.
cute. They named her May. That's very sweet.
Her nickname amongst her friends is Mayday.
I like it. Did she ever go by that as like a hero name?
No, that's her civilian nickname.
That would have been kind of cool, actually.
But anyway, if they announced Spider-Man 4 with Tobey Maguire, Kirsten Dunst, and this cute little girl as their daughter, directed by Sam Raimi, people would go nuts.
Oh yeah, and also not only that, but that could leave itself open for, hold on a sec. That could leave itself open for just creating like an entire new batch of sequels using May, like Little May.
Exactly, set her up, Spider-Girl.
And I'm sure that would sell too. Be like, it's Spider-Man, but a girl. Like, and it's Sam Raimi, the old director, and all this other shit. Like, they could easily market that and bring it in. So I see I see what you're saying. That's probably their rationalization. Like, well, it's been almost 20 years since that trilogy
Yeah.
was finished, so why not just blow it up, literally? you
Yeah,
know?
they exactly, and they don't get that the nostalgia. Like they're behind on nostalgia. I think Hollywood is still trying to hook Generation X with nostalgia.
hmm
And it's like, dude, no, 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 go. I think it go past Y. You got to get the Zoomers and the Alpha.
I agree, because No Way Home did so fantastic, and I think made so much money because of they did it like obviously everyone knew without knowing kind of thing. Like why is that? The one thing that convinced me is there was a shot in the No Way Home trailer where they're battling at the Statue of Liberty, and the lizard gets like punched in the face by like an invisible figure. Like why would he like look like he got punched when no one's there? So that's pure like okay, the other Spider-Man in the movie. But as far as that confirmation goes, it did so well because just of the idea that whoa, Tobey Maguire could be back. Like that's what helped sell it for so many people. And Green Goblin and and Alfred Molina as Doc Ock.
Doc
All
Ock.
these things that they're now about to blow up, literally, are basically what drove a huge amount of ticket sales just 5 years ago. You know,
But then there's the Battle World factor.
mm.
Battle World, oh man, more spoilers for Secret Wars, folks.
Yeah.
So the multiverse gets destroyed, and Doctor Doom ascends to godhood, and he takes bits and pieces of the multiverse and makes one cohesive world that he rules over. And the way they did this in the comics was all the different like alternate worlds and plot lines and stuff. The way they could do it in the movies is here's how you get the X-Men, here's how you get, so they could keep Willem Dafoe Green Goblin and have him be the Osborn / Green Goblin of the MCU post Battle World, because it's going to be a whole like reset. They're doing a soft reboot, which I think is a terrible idea, and I say this because DC has done multiple soft reboots, and it's really the worst way to go. It's been an albatross around their collective necks. For those of you that don't know, a soft reboot is when you still carry over some of the old stuff in with the new. It requires mental gymnastics from the viewer.
Right, and a little bit like you're basically, and I don't hate that idea. I really don't, only because their other choice is to just keep being like multiverse, like No Way Home
Right,
type shit, and their only
right,
choice going down that road would just make everything else 10 times more convoluted, and you'd probably
right.
lose a lot of the general audience. So I think they're in a way backed into a corner because
Yes, I agree.
they climaxed, with they're with the end game, because it's like, well, this was one cohesive story, multiversal threat with the stones and like little hints at multiverse, but it's like, hey, it's the same six dudes who had their own couple trilogies here and there, and here's the culmination. But now it's like, oh well, there's three Spider-Mans and all the Marvels and the 86 TV shows we have going on, and it would just like stream. Like, did you see Loki the show?
I did not.
Well, basically, if one person with the whole TVA thing, right? You know that.
Yeah.
Um,
Yes, the Time
you
Variance Authority.
you take one person like out of place, and then their thing streamlines, and then that streamlines into 12 more branches of time. So basically, that's what I think they're at risk of doing if they don't soft reboot. So they're kind of like up against the wall, kind of thing.
I agree. I do agree. And a soft reboot is the best way to get the X-Men into the universe retroactively.
Mhm. And so
I
basically,
mean,
Doom could just pick like Green Goblin, Willem Dafoe, Electro, Jamie Foxx, shit like that, and just be like,
exactly.
this is your new MCU based on the lore of him being God and picking who stays and who goes.
Right.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I don't hate the idea. I really don't. I just wonder how they're gonna pick who they're gonna pick.
Money and availability.
There you go. And they'll figure out the lore part later. Yeah, you
That's
got a good
and
point.
other considerations. For example, they want a woman they want a woman at the forefront of the MCU. Brie Larson is gone. I don't know if what's her name, Elizabeth Olsen, is coming back as Scarlet Witch.
I don't. I think they're gonna wrap her up. I think a new show's coming out like with
Oh, Vision
Vision.
Quest.
Yeah, that's gonna be
Vision
the end of
Quest.
her
That's right.
story. At least that's the theory.
They and She-Hulk was a massive bomb. So you're going to be seeing a lot of Yelena, the Black Widow.
I was just gonna say that's the only option left, and they kind of threw her into the Avengers, the new Avengers. Did you see
Yeah.
Thunderbolts yet?
Not yet. Not yet. I know about the new Avengers stuff.
Okay, good. So I was gonna say I don't want to throw it all in your face, but yeah, well, there it is. I mean, that's literally the ending. So if you know about
Yeah.
it, you know how it ends.
Thunderbolts. Asterisk.
Yes, Asterix.
Is technically the name of the movie.
I actually thought that was a kind of a cool reveal. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, damn, that caught me off guard. But it's all. But even that setup was a little quick. I mean, I get it's for Doomsday, but it was literally because Sentry turns into the Void, and he just starts like pulling people into his Void, like the entirety of New York City, and it's because whoever bought Stark Tower, I don't know who she is in the Marvel universe, like who she's supposed to be as a character. Do you know what I'm talking about?
It's very. You're talking about Elaine Bennis, Julia Louis-Dreyfus?
Yes, that is what I'm talking about.
She's a very, very different character. They seem to have modeled the MCU version after Tulsi Gabbard.
Okay. Oh, really?
They
Yeah.
seem to have. Yeah.
So basically, she's like, "Oh well, Sentry was like our experiment, and thank you for helping prove our experiment. Now kill all your friends." And he's like, "Well, you just told me I'm a god, so like, because she says to him like, he's stronger than Thor and all the Avengers, and he's like, well, if the Avengers contains at least one god, so why the fuck would I ever listen to you anyway?" And then she's like, "Oh great, now he's on the loose." So then basically it comes down to now they all want to kill her after the destruction, or at least bring her to jail, one of the two. And she runs away from them to like hide in front of a press thing, and she's like, "By the way, these are the Avengers now." Like it was just like basically a cop out. Like, don't kill me because you're the Avengers. So I'm really curious how they're gonna make that like justify it through their talents, if you will. But I will say Yelena was the most, probably one of the more likable ones. So if they're trying to put her at the front, it's not a bad idea. But the problem I foresee is that she's the least. She's not really super. Is there a Black Widow serum that makes them better? I don't know. But
So they nerfed her in the movies, which annoys me endlessly. She is supposed to have a version of the super soldier serum where she not only has enhanced strength and speed, she's also supposed to be immune to all poisons.
oh boy,
And her costume is supposed to give her the same wall crawling as Spidey.
really? See, now that would be kind of cool actually. You could see that. But
Yeah.
and
They got rid of all of that. Plus, the Black Widow serum, whatever it was called, slowed down her aging. She was around in World War II, or supposed to be.
right,
This is in
kind
the
of like
comic.
Captain America, right?
Exactly. She was around at the same time. There's famous comic book covers where it shows World War II with Cap, Black Widow, and Wolverine.
Because Wolverine has the same thing, right? He just lives forever.
Basically,
Yeah.
he ages very slowly.
Because in Deadpool and Wolverine, he's like, "I've been alive like 200 fucking years, and you're the most annoying bastard
Right.
I've ever met."
Exactly.
So that's how I caught onto that. But the whole thing I was gonna say is that even though she's the most likable person, and thank you for adding that context because it backs up where I'm going with this. Like, when you're making a movie about superheroes and being fantastical, just because she's someone who can do a backflip and shoot a pistol pretty accurately, like that pales in comparison to someone on her team who was Sentry, for example.
Right.
So it's just like, how are you going to position that as like, this is the leader of the Avengers? She aims a pistol well. Like, come on.
Oh, and she doesn't use guns. Her gauntlets have what's called a widow's bite, and it's like a laser. It's a powerful laser.
Like, will it impale people or just like stun them, kind of like a stun gun?
There's probably settings for it.
Okay, because I was like, so does she even like damage people? Like, what are we talking here?
Oh yeah. Yeah, no, she can damage people.
Okay. Because it's just like then, but there you go. She's not even shooting a gun in theory, right? It's just like
But
bang
yeah,
bang, late
they
pew pew.
yeah, pew pew. So reducing her as hot chick with guns was really disappointing, and they took away her past. I mean, she hooked up with Bucky in the 50s and 60s when
Are
he
we
was the
talking
Winter
Yelena
Soldier.
Black Widow or
No,
Scarlett
no,
Johansson?
fuck Yelena. We're talking
Okay.
Natasha, the
Okay.
Black Widow.
Right.
Yelena was only the Black Widow in a storyline where she tried to replace Natasha and failed, and then she got she got burned alive. Let's put it that way.
Oh, what a nice happy ending.
And then AIM. I don't know if they've done AIM in the MCU. The guys with the yellow beekeeper outfits. Advanced Idea Mechanics.
Yeah, no, I've heard. I just can't remember if I only heard about it like in games or movies. I'm gonna err on the side of games. I don't
Probably
think they've done
games.
it. Yeah.
But anyway, the mad scientists at the evil corporation took her after she was all scarred up and made her the new super adaptoid, which is a character that can mimic the powers that they see.
Oh, that's actually kind of a cool concept, though.
Yeah.
See, they can really never run out of ideas. It's just about how they execute them. Like Sentry, in a way, the way they
Exactly.
depicted Sentry, though, is kind of a lot like that. Because there's a whole fight scene where, because basically he just starts out as Bob. Like he just wakes up. Basically, I think whatever company she runs, it might even be AIM. I don't know. But she like sends all of her spies to be like basically in a trash compactor to think they're killing each other and working, but they're really just all sent there to die. Bob comes out of there, and he has no idea who he is, doesn't know how to use his powers. So he's basically just dead weight the whole movie. But then when they show up, he's like he figures it out basically. You know, Black Widow or Yelena in this case tries shooting him. He just deflects the bullets back. He rips off Winter Soldier's arm and also melts it like down. So basically showing that he could basically do any power ever. So in a couple ways, whatever they say you turn, whatever you say they turn Yelena into, they're already kind of doing, I guess. But I'm not sure how they're going to continue it because Bob is like, I can't be Sentry without the other side. So, so I don't know if they're just going to backseat Sentry because he's too overpowered or they're going to save him like in a desperation attempt.
The Sentry is a character that's not meant to be functional.
Interesting.
He looks like Superman, but the point is we're doing things with him that you can't do with Superman. Mm-hmm. So like right off the bat, it's like, what if Superman had borderline personality disorder? Sentry void.
Right. But that's the thing though. How I like the concept, I do, but I'm just trying to figure out how because obviously if he goes into that mode, he's going to eventually lose control and become the Void again, right? But they already told that story, so I'm just really curious, or trying to figure out how the fuck they'll put that into play. Like maybe because Doctor Doom's too strong, they'll be like just fucking Hulk out and put everybody into the Void. I don't know. But I am very curious how because he's extremely overpowered. Is the long story short. And it kind of
purposefully so, designed that way.
Yes, but then my question is, why introduce him then to not use him? Because you can't use him every time, because then it's just a crutch at that point.
See, I don't think introducing him in the MCU was a good idea right now. But if they have plans for him, especially if he does die and then get resurrected as one of the horsemen of the apocalypse, like in the comics, that would be cool.
See, and that's the thing. To your point there, like if they have plans for him, I read that they have. I think it's until like 2045. They said they've planned out the MCU. Kevin Feige said, but
I doubt it.
Well, it might have just been a PR thing, because then his follow-up statement was, well, whether we'll be able to make those movies, we don't know. But I think I'm with you on that. I think it's more to instill a sense of what's the word? comfortability, like don't worry guys, we've got this under control kind of thing. Like we've got 20 in the can.
Right, right. I mean, I don't blame him for, it's PR. So what's he gonna do? Be like, oh man, I saw. Well, actually, he did do that. Recently, he came
Yeah,
out
with Blade, yeah.
he with Blade. I feel like such a loser, and then he got ripped apart for that. So you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. Either he's honest and he gets ripped for it, or he does the PR thing and he gets ripped for it.
We can address this one because we've done a lot of non-dabbling today. I figured you might like that. Dario, what is it like to be using a proxy war between the final boss and TJ Electra?
Who?
Hold on, before you answer that.
Dario.
Is that your answer?
Yes. Who?
Okay, cool. I'll take it.
No, I think it's. I don't have a beef with her. Maybe she has a beef with me. I don't know. But
No, the long and short of it is that she thinks I tried to co-opt it as my own because we made a funny
No,
bit out of it. Yeah.
I saw that. What
Yeah.
I'm trying to say very delicately. I've seen DJ Electra show up in a couple of chats recently, and I don't think she put her best foot forward. There we go. There's a nice diplomatic way of putting it.
And you know what? Say less. That's a very nice way of putting it. Let's do one of these. That's the wisdom jingle right there. No, that's fine. That's a totally fine answer. Yeah,
So
Bibley's
maybe
just
you-
fishing.
Oh, of course.
It's his job.
I hope you two, I hope months from now you and DJ Electra are on a stream and you're both laughing about this. And having
I would like that too, because obviously I think there's just misunderstood intentions there, to be quite honest. We were just having fun with the two-way, bi-way, one-way. You know what I'm saying? I
Indeed.
think we can let it there. And that's a great way to wrap that up. Thank you for that answer, Dario. Tabby Benedict, what is Tali activity? What the hell does that mean? You think does that mean something to you?
It does not.
All right, I'm gonna assume maybe a typo. It just means I care about you. Well,
Yeah, but what is it typo for? Is it toilet?
I thought toilet too, and I was like, does that mean like you were using potty language and it didn't get through the filter? I don't know.
Oh,
Oh,
troll.
trolley?
Oh, trolling.
Has he been trolling you?
Yeah. Nah.
Me neither. He's actually been quite nice to me. So I have no. Oh, there we have our third respell on that one.
We got
Hey.
there eventually.
Hey, Tabby, you're good in my eyes, bro. Nothing to apologize for. But yeah, no, I just don't. I don't know. I think the moral of the story when it comes down to all of this is you can either be passionate like we are, or you could just be a casual viewer. Cautiously optimistic, I think, is the way you have to approach all of these things, and even that might sound a bit dramatic, right? But when they're putting millions and millions and millions of dollars into this, I mean, they want you, even though it's like, yes, it's superheroes or whatever, but they want you to take it as seriously as they are funding it. So I think
Right.
it does come with a level of expectations, whether it's about
Yes.
a dude with a cape or a guy shitting in the street. If you're putting $500 million, that better be the best shit I've ever seen in my life, kind of thing, you know?
Exactly.
Exactly. Tommy Jordan sends number one. I would Tabby Benedict, but I've never seen you on a show before, and I literally, on episode 3 of Leveling Up in the Dab, I'm not trying to get porn bombed. It's nothing personal. I just don't know what you're about. But send me a link to one of your shows, and we'll talk about it next time, for sure. Tommy Jordan sends the number one, Leveling Up in the Dab. That's how it goes.
Appreciate it.
Are you good with like 15 more minutes? We can just cut it clean at 2 hours.
Yeah, man.
Cool. So let's keep that up. I will. I only just found out you streamed the other day, Tabby. But I do Tabby's been a new supporter of the channel, so let's give a shout out. They are an Ultimate Lifeform member, so I wanted to give you some attention there. But now, what's your take? Are you caught up? I'm rambling about. Here's what happens in this movie, that movie. Are you up to it? Like, have you seen a lot of these late movies leading up to Spider-Man and Doomsday, or no?
No, I've actually I've been on a Marvel break.
Interesting. So when did you
I've been
stop? Like, when did you just go, this is it, I'm done, checked out?
God. I don't know. I mean, I don't remember if it was the Marvels or Shang-Chi. Maybe it was the Disney Plus shows, the glut of Disney Plus shows.
Well, that's when I started. I never had really Disney Plus until recently, but that's when I started to get a bad taste. Like, now you're just shoveling shit just to shovel it,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Um,
And so much wasted potential. A lot of good characters got fucked over.
yeah.
Moon
And that,
Knight.
I've
Moon
heard
Knight is
good things.
Moon Knight is excellent because I mean saying he's Marvel's Batman is really selling him short. It's like he's crazy, but it's ambiguous. Like is he talking to the well, this is in the comics, but it's like the god of the moon that gives him his power talks to him, or he's out of his fucking mind. And it goes back and forth. We don't know.
That's
It's
interesting, though. I
ambiguous.
kind of like that.
Yeah.
So is he like Batman in the set? Like, does he have, like, is it literally just one for one? Like, I'm pretty sure DC has, like, a Spider-Man, for example, ripoff. You know what I'm talking about? I don't know the character's name.
I'm trying to think of who you're talking about because there could also be
I'll look it up.
analogs, characters that are purposely designed to be reminiscent of a character, but then done.
The Tarantula, which is basically Spider-Man. It's Tarantula.
Oh, there's not really,
No?
not really.
Okay.
He doesn't wall crawl or web spin.
Okay. Sam Bibley with a hot take. I honestly
No,
believe... Go ahead.
Oh, I was agreeing with it before you read it out loud. I'm sorry. I
That's
cut you
fine.
off.
It's on the screen. I don't want to stop you. Go ahead. Let it rip.
But yeah, I agree. Unfortunately, I'm not saying there shouldn't be more movies made. It sucks because the percentage of movies that should have been made versus those that shouldn't have been made is really out of whack now. You know what I mean?
Right. Well, it's the also... I don't mean to sound like we've reached peak humanity in technology, which I don't believe, but as far as movie making goes, it's like how much more realistic can you make it look? You know what I'm talking about? Like,
Right.
how much further can CGI go to make it look like this guy's really flying when they already kind of do that? Like, how much can you justify? Like, kind of see what you're getting at.
Meanwhile, the quality is going down because the priorities of the producers isn't quality. I mean, friggin' Netflix is telling their filmmakers to block things wrong, to ignore the rule of threes, and to just put shit dead center in the screen so it translates to shorts better.
Oh my god, yeah. See, and that's another great point. We were talking about the attention span thing before. Like, there's so many factors that, like, do I personally never want to see a new movie made again? No. But, like, I can get behind the concept, both that and, like
Yeah.
I was saying before, like, the reason there's more Superman movies now is because the one back when Chris Reeves was Superman, like, it's a night and day difference. Like, they just weren't there yet. But now I feel like
Right.
we're there, and not that we've reached the pinnacle of technology, like I said before, in general, but now we see Superman fly and throw people against walls and through buildings and lasers, like, so the justification for redoing it 86 times isn't there anymore, though, because it's
Right.
already been done.
Right.
So that'll be interesting to see when that level of fatigue actually sets in, and when people are like, dude, I've seen this fucking Superman movie 86 times now. You know what I'm talking about? It's I don't know. Let's see. Whoa, this is another hot take. Dario, you want to read this one out loud?
This is rough, and unfortunately, I think it's accurate. Not everybody, but I think a lot of people are going to be doing this. It's going to get less realistic. People are going to are going to cheaply make AI shit at home and forget about movies. Our standards will lower. There's already been a universal lowering of standards and expectations. I think that the home AI is going to get out of control. However, the wild card is the corporate ownership. Like, what can you make at home? Can you make Superman butt fucking Batman? Because maybe DC doesn't want you to do that with AI quality.
Now, but would you be able? Now, I'm really not familiar with how the technology works, and I'm not sure if you are. But in theory, right? Is there in theory where Grok, for example, you were to ask Grok to do that, he could probably build that picture for you right now. But is there a world where it gets too good, where I guess they'll block out keywords, like you put Superman or Batman in your request, like this is not allowed. So you think that's how they'll force people? Yeah.
Yes. In fact, the technology is already there. I remember when Grok was released. This was years ago. But one of the first things I did was I asked it to generate a picture of Pennywise and Jesus Christ kissing, just to see what it could do. And
Right.
it immediately spat back, "I cannot comply with that request. Those are something about copyrighted characters." And putting
Interesting.
Jesus in there was the problem, though. But anyway,
Right.
they have it set up like that. Alright.
Tabby wants to shout out to you as well. I wanted to make sure you got your shout out there. Terrible
Thank
Troy,
you, Tabby.
actually, funnily enough, we were before you got here. We were talking about the Pooh Pinocchio verse or whatever like they're calling it, Kids
Yeah.
Toys Gone Evil verse. Is that the Pinocchio movie you were talking about?
Hey, yes, it is.
Practical effects all day. Now, see, I think there will always be a place for that. Like, as far as CGI
Yes.
goes. In fact, I think I prefer... I think a mix is good. I don't want to say I prefer one over the other. But when behind-the-scenes videos of Spider-Man 2, for example, I think it also helps them get into character. You actually have, like, those metal claws. I mean, they're puppeted by other people, but they're strapped to Alfred Molina. And it
Yes.
really helps you feel the weight. And No
It's
Way Home,
palpable.
right? In No Way Home, it's just he's wearing like just an extended vest, so they can CGI on like the clamp that goes around him or whatever.
But you know what? Doc Ock was actually a good example. He's both a good and a bad example of CGI usage in that film because, so you had the arms, like you said, they moved too fluid. There's the uncanny valley going on. You saw them; they were CGI. On the other side of the coin, he was de-aged and no one noticed.
Yeah, it isn't. Yeah, right. He basically looked the same as he did 25 years ago.
Exactly. He does not. People didn't notice that. Because and so I think that there is definitely a place for AI as a tool for like cleaning up and finishing up details and doing certain things, but not to do the heavy lifting.
I'll agree with that. That's a good take. And true as well, because I guess it doesn't really matter because I'm thinking right now people would be like, actually, like if they didn't do what you're saying, he would look much older. But in that movie, he's like, yeah, so I was just in the middle of fighting Spider-Man with my Sun device, like basically the ending of Spider-Man 2. And he's like, now I'm here. So in theory, 25 years hasn't happened yet, but he would look
Exactly.
like it did. So I'm with you there. I mean, but then I'm sure at that point you could almost call it a nitpick, though, because I think most people would err on the side of, well, dude, they got Alfred Molina back as Doc Ock 25 years later. Like, let's focus on that. Forget how he looks. But I'm with you, though.
I mean, I see what you're saying. Unfortunately, a lot of people, when they haven't seen someone in a long time, like someone like that, like they've seen in a movie, and then they see them age, there's almost revulsion. There's almost like,
Interesting.
oh, wow, because it hits you. It's weird. It
Like,
just
oh, wow, that guy looks
that
like shit
person's-
now.
Yeah, exactly. There's an immediate like, oh, that person looks like shit, but then it's like, wait a minute, it's been 25 years.
So, and you know what? That's a good take, because it, in a way, could break immersion just like that, and then you're out of it for the whole movie.
Yeah.
So I think I'm gonna land on that argument on your side. Like, I'm also not one of those people that's like, that's it. AI's here. Creativity's over. Life is over. Art is done. I'm not
I think
that far off the edge with it, but I do worry about how much we're gonna end up leaning on it. I like the balance that you portrayed there.
I think that God, Hollywood can't continue the way it's been going, and it's actually it's contracting right now. There, thousands of jobs are being lost. Uh, Tabby Benedict wants the link because he's got a wild Scarlet.
Well, that's why I
Hampton.
smiled. I was like, dude, no wonder. Okay, he's kidding. I was like, yeah,
Oh,
sure.
okay.
Let's play one of her films right on screen here.
Oh, I thought he was referring to the recent recorded domestic violence incident.
Do you believe all of that? I believe some of it, but I'm not. Part of me is like, they have to be playing this up, like, to a degree. There's no way these people are this fucked up, you know? Whoa, wait, hold
I
on.
don't know. Uh-oh.
Look at this crazy take. Are you referring to the one with the 3 Spider-Men there, Troy? Because that's crazy. And I would like to hear why. Because I get it's a little bit of a nostalgia fest, like, literally. But I think it was well done. I
It was
think if you were going to do
exactly.
it...
I was gonna say nostalgia done the right way, because they resolved things. They weren't just, "Hey kids, it's Tobey Maguire." It's, "Hey kids, it's Tobey Maguire." Then this happens.
Right. And also not just... And that other guy you might have liked a little bit, maybe you didn't. Andrew Garfield's here, too. Surprise! Wow. He hated it. I would love to know why. Because by your explanation there, Troy, it sounds like you've seen the other ones. You said it's the only one you couldn't get through, so clearly that would lead to be you're a fan of them. I really want to know what it is you didn't like. I don't know about this. Boss was right. It was I knew it. You son of a gun there, Tabby. What are you trying to take me? You trying to stick it to me? Oh, and that reminds me. Have you gone on MLC Censor? Do you have any plans to? Or are you just planning on laying low on the under dap?
I'm just gonna be going on this show and Papa's Puzzle Factory for the time being,
I'm
because
honored.
they're very DV light.
Right, and I
I'm
think it's good this way. You know, there's enough shows getting everybody to hate each other and watching the same Chad clip. You know,
right.
and we have fun. Like 2 hours just flew by. We're just talking shit about
Exactly.
why corporations are too dumb to know what the fuck they're doing with all their money. I don't know if you want to answer Metal's question, but I know you did talk about it already. Would you like to answer it?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so I'll pull it up. And I'm gonna get to you, Troy. Don't worry, I didn't forget the question I asked you. So Metal
Yes,
wants to know. Okay, yeah, go ahead. Never mind. Take it away.
Yes, I did. A few weeks ago, I had a terrible anxiety attack. There was even dry heaving, and I backed out of a show with her with like something like 2 hours notice. Yeah,
The rest is
So-
history.
there you go.
I hated all the Sony and Fox Marvel stuff. So is that Fox was the original Raimi?
Yeah.
So so you're wow. So Troy,
no,
you would
no, actually, no. It's just who did do the Raimi films?
because I do recall like Fox having it before Sony, right? Spider-Man, I'm talking.
They didn't have Spidey. Fox had Fantastic Four and X-Men. That was a whole thing. But I
Interesting.
get what he's saying, because Sony controls Spidey. Oh, okay. We thought you were just talking about Spidey. He's talking
I
about
thought you were
Marvel in
talking about
general.
the last Spider-Man movie. But well, get ready, Troy, because the next, besides the Spider-Man coming out this weekend, it's all about your favorite X-Men and Fantastic Four.
Prepare for Battle World, Troy.
Man, Dario bringing in the dollars today.
Dario.
It's my birthday. If you want to throw down a little more.
Oh, it is?
Well, it was yesterday.
Well, happy
No,
belated.
actually, 2 days. Now,
Happy
'cause
belated.
It's after midnight. Thank you.
Regardless, happy belated.
So yeah, if you want to wish me a happy birthday, give boss some money.
Well, no, feel free to plug your Venmo for your own birthday grift there.
All right.
Do it.
If I must. It's Dario Vittorio, VITTORIO.
Nice.
And then my Cash App is Dario the Wop, WOP. That's without papers, not wet ass pussy. That was a slur. That was a slur against Italians long before it was some dirty talk.
Is that really what WAP stands for, without papers?
Yes, it was an Italian
Now I
slur
know.
back in the day.
No, I knew it was a slur. I just didn't know that it was an acronym. That's crazy. Fun fact. Learn something new every day. Well, anyway, happy birthday to Dario. You just got it there very clearly. Rewind if you missed it, but that's how you can wish Dario here, our friend, a happy birthday. Nasty Neil, Terrible Troy's brother, joins us with a very important question. Dario, you want to read it?
Nasty Neil asks, is Final Boss paying Dario for sex yet? No, not yet.
We
gotta
do our
talk
gay
about
DGen
that.
fun for free. Our free gay DGen fun. All right?
I don't know how much longer I want to go for that. I was going for I was going for a trial membership thing.
Come on,
but
yeah,
it's been
right.
going
Come on,
way
you got
too
the
long.
trial. And he also says, jokes aside, happy birthday.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Did you know that, by the way, Troy and Neil are brothers?
I did.
Okay, I was
don't
like,
know
was
what I
that
was
genuine
going for
shock? I was like, were you really just finding that? I mean, if not, if the acronym names or the alliteration names weren't enough of a giveaway, but
I was trying to go for some kind of silly response, but I didn't have any follow up, so I was just that was nothing.
just a nice little gasp there. If you were to
Cerebral
be
miscarriage.
right, if you were gonna be one of those alliteration names, what would you be?
Ooh,
Dastardly Dario?
not dastardly.
Well, they have like nasty, terrible. It's got to be in that vein.
It does have to be. Oh no, Linkara. Yeah, it would have to be dastardly.
I knew it.
At
See,
this
Neil
point.
likes it. Neil likes it. But Tabby Benedict.
I
Go
I
ahead.
couldn't think of a better one. I was, devilish, demonic, but no, dastardly's the best one.
Who's Linkara? Someone mentioned that to me last night, and I didn't get the
Linkara?
reference.
Linkara is a comic book reviewer from Channel Awesome. Do you know Channel Awesome with the Nostalgia Critic?
I've heard of the Nostalgia Critic, but that's about as far as that goes.
They were they were big on YouTube in the 2010s. Linkara. Everyone loves Linkara's comic book reviews. I think they're terrible. I think that Linkara is not just a terrible reviewer, he's a terrible fan.
Uh-oh.
I mean, we don't have to get into the weeds here, but the
No,
point is...
I mean, there's a... hey, look. We got someone forking it up for your take on this, so please, give it away.
Linkara is a lol cow. The thing is, he's just not interesting. That's
So
why
what, he's
he
just like
doesn't
an
get
asshole
coverage.
that you'll hate watch or something? Like, oh, I can't believe that's his take kind of thing?
Kind of, but it's not even interesting. It's not, I can't believe that's his take. It's just like, that's your take.
Really, asshole? Okay.
And there's all kinds of lore. Like, he published a fantasy book when he was a teenager. Like, his parents got it published, and it's terrible. And he made a movie based on the lore of his review show.
What is this Dr. Link Sorrow?
Dr. Linksano is the evil version of Linkara, which is based off of Dr. Insano, the character of Noah Antweiler from the Spoonie Critic, who was one of the Channel Awesome personalities. There's a lot of lore, and it's dumb.
It
It's
sounds
very
like it's.
dumb.
You said it'd be the weeds. It sounds like the weeds because it's like you have to know this
Yeah.
guy's evil twin to get his reference here.
Oh, we're
Yeah.
not. We're just tip of the iceberg.
Well, thank you, Tabby Benedict. I will, if it's interesting, like I'll reach out to you in the group there, and if there's like some
I'll
tidbits we can talk about, I'm definitely open.
I'll I will send you a Linkara video.
Perfect. Perfect.
I'll send you a Linkara video. You'll see what I mean.
Waterboy Captain Insano.
No,
Teddy
no,
wants to know.
Doctor Insano was the name of the Spoonie character. Captain Insano was the Big Show's character in the movie The Waterboy.
Got see, tip of the iceberg is already in the weeds for me. But Teddy wants to know: are you a Zelda fan?
I am not an active gamer. I've been demoted to casual and outsider. I watch videos about games, but I don't get to game as much. So I've missed out on years of Zelda lore. I liked Zelda back in the day, and I'm definitely going to watch the film. The Nintendo films are very interesting because we were talking about executive meddling. They cannot meddle. The Nintendo of Japan has fascistic control over the IPs, which is why it took so long for Nintendo movies to start happening.
In some ways, that could be the one place I would argue that kind. But it depends how they execute it, right? But that kind of total control. I mean, they own it. Would be
no, so far
acceptable.
the results have been good. So far the results have been good. That's why I approve. So because of the strength of the Mario films, I think that the Zelda film is going to be awesome. And not only that, there's something happening on the horizon that I'm hoping happens. I'm very interested in, and it's the fall of Disney. Now you might be saying, "Oh, the fall of Disney, Dario, that's just silly talk." Okay. Name a Disney princess that has become iconic in the modern era. Now, by contrast, Zelda, Peach, Rosalina, and I can keep going. That's
Daisy.
Samus Aran.
Mm-hmm.
The Nintendo princesses are poised to destroy the Disney princesses. And you might say, well, how's that going to happen? Because Nintendo World is going to destroy, whatchamacallit. Oh, Terrible Troy does name Moana. Moana was successful.
It was, but they just ruined it with the remake. Like apparently that bombed. But Tim,
Less than
in a
10
way,
years.
in a way, Tim, I did, but in a very particular set of circumstances because we've seen what happens with too many cooks in the kitchen, and who better than to control the IP, how it's portrayed than the people who made the 80
know what?
games about it. You know,
I'm
but
going
that's
to
just
push
me.
back. I'm going to push back on Tim's totality because he called us retards. I'm going to say Moana was successful but did not hit iconic status.
Correct. Like it. I mean, it's been a while since I was, going to the Halloween parties at school and stuff. But I'll tell you, Moana. When did the first one come out? Do you know?
About 10 years ago.
Yeah, so I was still like high school, college around then, and I saw not one chick dressed up as Moana. Just saying, I think that's a good indicator.
Did you see chicks dressed as Rapunzel?
No.
There you go.
Come on, Tim. What are you doing, man? But yes, fascism as a whole, probably not. But when it comes to, hey, who knows the IP better and who can execute it? The people who own it, or are you gonna give it to some guy who's like, yeah, this makes a lot of money, right? I'll just draw up a script real quick. That's how
Right.
I'm viewing it,
Anyway, I think that the Nintendo princesses will be more successful, have the potential to be more successful, I should say. I'm hoping they will be more successful. I believe that Nintendo has the opportunity to be a Disney buster.
Tim is fired up tonight, but he's not necessarily wrong here. I'll give him this.
No,
Frozen.
you're right. You're right.
Frozen is huge.
Frozen is the big one. Well,
Yeah.
why didn't you mention that one first, you retard?
Yeah, you idiot. Oh, I'm trying to find. Oh, perfect. Here it is. This is for
But
Tim's firing up.
I think Zelda's gonna be. I think Zelda has the potential to be bigger than anything Disney has coming down the pike.
The thing that worries me, and I'm kind of surprised by this. So to your point, I grew up
But no,
like,
Elsa is definitely iconic.
yeah.
So I was off
I
on
grew
that.
up playing Mario, Sonic, and Crash, so I'm well versed in the Mario Galaxy lore. Put it that way. And that movie came out, and I saw it. It was up on Twitter. Like someone posted on Twitter, and I was just on the couch, and I was like, "Well, this might get deleted immediately, so let me skim through it." It basically, assuming that Nintendo had total control, it basically had nothing to do with those games for the most part, other than the fact that Bowser Jr. flies in his little, like, pirate ship. Like, I was genuinely surprised how not accurate it was from what I saw. Which, assuming that Nintendo was the sole controller of the script, like, then what are they doing there? I don't know. How do you
They had
justify that one?
approval over everything. Well, I think that with Mario lore, it's a greatest hits package.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's the best way to go for it, rather than like a straightforward. This is 1, this is 2, and then we go to 3, and then we go to Mario World, and then like you see what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, the Sonic movies are kind of doing that, though, just, I guess, a little out of order, a little Dario. Like, they are adapting in ways, like, the most recent movie with Shadow and all that, and Jim Carrey playing two people, like, that is very, I wouldn't say loosely, like, I'd say 65% based on an actual game, Sonic Adventure 2. Like, so, the more, I think they're getting more comfortable with the more money it makes, the more they're like, now we have faith in the IP and letting it do its thing. 'Cause the first one was just like a buddy cop.
The other reason that the Nintendo princesses have an advantage over the Disney princesses is, okay, Elsa is iconic. Elsa's huge.
But
Are they going to do Frozen 2? Are they going to do Frozen 3?
there is a Frozen
Are they
2, I
gonna
think.
Are they going to do Frozen? Okay. But are they going to keep going? Like how the Disney princesses have a shelf life, as we saw with the classic ones when they made all those direct-to-video sequels.
You're right.
The Nintendo
That's true.
the Nintendo princesses have literal decades worth of adventures that they could go on because of the
To be
nature
fair,
of the
most of them
games.
is getting kidnapped and Mario's saving them. That's like to err on the other, like where Elsa and Cinderella are dramatically
There's
different.
more than that, Anita Sarkeesian.
Uh-oh.
Where you go? Well, what's up with that? There's more
Uh-oh.
than that.
Someone's here to take us to task. Hold on, I'll put you up in a second. So we are now joined by Tim's Totality. Hello, my friend.
Hello. Hello.
Hello.
We triggered him in again. It was only a matter of time.
Yeah, I'm not even home right now. I'm at my. But
You had to come on.
I did. I was just. I checked because I was like doing some stuff around here, and I just happened to sort of come back because I haven't been here the whole time. I was here to know you earlier, then I came back now, and I was like,
see, you missed when I wasn't wrong.
Yes, I did. Every time I turn in, Dario's wrong, but somehow, I always miss when he's right. So no, I'm just joking around.
So tell me, what are you here to lambast us about this time?
I think Frozen stands on its own. I mean, I'm not even a big fan, but I think that was a good one to come in and make fun of you for. I think that was a good example.
It is.
But it's got a shelf life. I don't think Frozen is still going. I don't think Frozen will have the legs that Nintendo's properties has.
All right, so who are the big ones for Nintendo? And I'll pretend that you didn't say Daisy. No, what?
I said Daisy, to be fair.
That's dumb. What else?
All of them, Peach, all of them, but the major ones, Zelda and Samus Aran. And Peach.
Do people overwhelmingly care about Samus though?
They will. Once they put that in a movie, it'll be huge. It'll be like
Zero
Iron Man.
Suit Samus. Oh yeah.
Yo, Zero Suit Samus is hot, sure.
Yeah, you
But
get
like,
the right actress for that for sure.
yeah,
See?
a Metroid Prime movie. You think that's gonna be like a whole? We're gonna get like a Disney MCU.
A Nintendo
I think-
MCU.
I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
we're getting an NCU. Yes.
Because like I didn't see the last one, but apparently the last Super Mario movie was terrible. But I don't think people. But that's critics talking. That's what they
Yeah,
said.
and it's also like not made. I think it's made for like the now kids because that's what I was saying. Like Super Mario Galaxy in itself was a really good game. And I
It
think
was.
they could have just made the movie like that, but it was basically anything but Star Fox was in it, which is how I think now it's NCU.
Yeah, I heard
No?
Star
Yeah.
Fox was in it, but I thought
Exactly.
that was probably a really cool
Cameo.
cameo, right?
I mean, from what I saw, he's
Could
just
go
like,
either
"Hey
way.
guys."
Because I was thinking about cameos to sort of pivot a little bit. I was thinking about it, and it's in my mind, obviously. I guess I have to bring up the black stuff. Speaking of, I don't know if you guys talked about a little MC. You probably talked about Spider-Man today, right?
Yeah, we did.
Mm-hmm.
You know what probably was the best, like, sort of introduction in my opinion, of a character in the MCU, probably? Like, when you see Black Panther for the first time for like 20 seconds in Captain America
Civil War.
Civil War, when like he's
Yeah.
chasing Bucky and he just like pops up. Like, I remember people in the theater just being like, "This is awesome," because you see him for like 20 seconds. You don't really see. I don't remember if you see T'Challa himself, like his face in the movie, but when he's chasing him and he just like pops up and sort of like grabs whatever. I can't remember what he was running with, and he like sort of shows up and he's sort of there. He looks really cool and intimidating. And I sort of think about as far as character introductions go, because you knew nothing about the
I
character.
think that was at first I was thinking the airport scene, but I think you're talking about Winter Soldier.
Is that Winter
Okay.
Soldier?
Yeah,
So
because the briefcase thing. I forget what's in it too, but
Yeah,
that was
you're
on
right,
a
you're
rooftop.
right.
Yeah.
That was Winter Soldier. Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
Captain America Civil War was later, right? But he was also
Yeah.
in Captain America Civil War. Yeah,
But
I
he was in
remember
that as well.
better.
That's why I got confused.
Yeah. That is. That's right. That is. Which one is that? Yeah, Winter Soldier's right, because he's running with the briefcase and he sort of pops up. And I was only thinking about that sort of like was like cool character introductions, because obviously, they've announced whatever his name is going to be like T'Challa's son, and people are like, well, are they
His
always?
name
Yeah.
His name is T'Challa.
Yeah.
No, the actor he's talking about, something Johnson, I
Oh.
think his name is. He was in
Yeah.
the Long
They
Walk
announced
movie.
him?
I saw that too.
And as a matter of fact, he was in the Long Walk. Actually, I thought he was awesome in the Long Walk.
David Johnson. I liked him a lot in that movie too.
Yeah, he was fantastic in the Long Walk. Did you see the Long Walk, Dario? I know you're a horror person. It's a Stephen King movie, so
I have not seen it.
fantastic movie.
I saw it like 5 days ago,
Yeah.
dude. I was like getting like anxious in myself. I was like, I'll give it that. The tension is so good that it's like it holds on to it for so fucking long that I started to get anxious. I was like, holy shit.
I
Yeah,
read the concept, and I mean, it's interesting, but it didn't appeal to me. But I'll give it a shot.
it's good.
It's worth watching.
Yeah,
I
saw
mean,
it
on
in theaters,
paper, it is kind of a dumb concept. Like, you walk or you don't, cocksucker, is basically the long and short of it.
Yeah,
But the way they get very, like, psychological with it, and it gets into, like, how people, first of all, can persevere, but also how everyone will fucking handle that shit differently, whether they sabotage you, help each other out, just give up flatly. It's like a good insight into humanity, like when pushed to their limits, I think.
yeah.
um,
And when you think about it, the concept is sort of like a very sort of like late 70s, early 80s theme. Okay, we're gonna do this sort of like post-apocalyptic world, and you just have to walk, and if you don't stop walking, you get killed. It's a very sort of like simple sort of concept, like you said, but like in practice. Yeah, the movie was fantastic. Yeah.
But I think he'll make. I liked the first Black Panther movie. I wasn't a big fan of the second one, but I do like him as an actor.
I agree.
And I think it's a good because also, I mean, to be fair, it's like you never really plan for anyone. I mean, people die every day, sure, but when
Yeah.
these people are signing their contracts, they're not thinking they're going to die in 2 years and not make
Right.
it to their third movie. So I understand you kind of do what you got to do, and I think it's a fine pivot. Like, I think him being the son and picking up the mantle is a good enough explanation for me. me. I mean, the guy died.
I
What you
think
do?
I think the way he was the original T'Challa was written out in the second Black Panther was terrible. I think he was written out like a punk, and I think it's the typical misandry of Marvel, at least
What
at
did
the time.
I don't even think I saw the second one. How did they like? Obviously, the real actor died, but how did they write him out?
He had like a cancer that he
Yeah.
refused to get treated.
Yeah, they basically, yeah, he just died off scene. Like, was it kind of like the Steve Jobs type thing where like he was like sort of like he didn't want to like have all the probing and scientific sort of like advancement. And I guess if any place like Wakanda is probably the place that would have healed him, but
Right.
Right.
what are you gonna do?
I feel strongly they should have recast him. After all, they recast Bruce Banner, they recast uh, War Machine, Jim Rhodes.
Wait,
They
so just to
recast.
clarify, his reasoning for being killed off was he was too proud to like get a doctor.
Too
That's
dumb
yeah, I
because
know,
he's a
but
man.
I love it if that's true.
I don't even think they don't I don't even think they specifically say cancer. They just say, in the
Yeah,
second
I was trying
movie
to remember what it was, but it
that
was some
he
kind of internal sickness.
private illness that he dies. I think basically the second movie was like a Chadwick Boseman like sort of in memoriam. So they kind of like
Right.
they treated it very so they would think very sort of respectfully. So a lot of the which you've all seen is just basically mourning him for like 2 hours.
Okay, so I looked it up. He literally it's it wasn't cancer, an undisclosed
Okay.
incurable illness off screen.
Undisclosed.
And it just says Shuri was like trying to create some
That's
heart-shaped
why I was
herb.
like, it was like some kind of cancer. Yeah.
Got it. I don't really. That movie's pretty forgettable, honestly.
Well, they're all coming back in Doomsday, including Namor. So you better
Yeah.
get ready to remember.
And it was funny. I actually
Oh,
saw that clip that you sent. I don't know the artist's name, but the musician, the black musician who accidentally on the runway was like, "Oh yeah, my favorite."
Yeah, Jean Grey,
I
best
actually
villain ever.
I, I saw like the actual video the other day because I don't know if the video had actually made the rounds by the time you sent the link, but I saw the video. He's like, "Oh yeah, Jean Grey." I was like, "Oh gosh."
And he was so like, and that, he didn't even catch himself. He's like, I'd have to say Jean because she's the villain, but she's got her reasonings. She's thrown into this world. Like he spoiled more. I mean, obviously we could all kind of pick up what's going
Yeah.
down. I mean, Jean Grey's Jean Grey. She's miserable, and that's kind of her character. So we kind of knew where it was
Yeah.
probably going anyway, but he literally was just like, yep, she's not from this world, she's from elsewhere, and she's lonely, and she's miserable, and that's why she and Spider-Man, they share that together, and it's like, dude, the premiere didn't even start yet. Nobody
You think-
sat down in the seats yet.
Do you think Kevin Feige's gonna pull some stuff? We're gonna hear that guy like mysteriously died for like
Yeah, car crash.
That's usually. Oh, and I was actually curious. Jerry, I didn't mean to sort of sway the show and come in and be a dick.
No,
but
it's
I
all
was-
good.
That's fun. Yeah, we're
No,
having
no,
fun.
you're not
But
a dick. Believe
But
me.
I have a question for you guys, and particularly Dario probably can pontificate on this as well. But I saw something interesting that like someone made a comment. They were like, that they're going to. How are they going to explain that T'Challa's son, the new Black Panther, has actually aged? But sort of like Tom Holland hasn't. So how are they going to sort of deal with? Are they going to do sort of like? Is he going to be T'Challa's son from? Are they going to do the sort of Doomsday type issue thing? What do you think they're going to do? Are they going to not
We were
explain it? Is that important or?
either not explain it, or that's going to be one of the things that's swept into the post-Battle World MCU.
Well, it depends
Where
when
like
it
every
releases, right? Because I know they
yeah,
announced Black Panther 3, but if it's slated
but like
after Secret Wars, then probably that
I
one.
think it's like 2028 or something.
post-Battle World post-Battle World MCU, for example, will retroactively always have mutants. For
Yeah.
example.
But if they don't, it'd just be like he had a son off screen,
Yeah,
and they created
don't think
him
about it too hard.
Well,
Like
the
that's
the
what
growth serum.
Cause that's what I was wondering. Because technically, Shuri is Black Panther now, so I guess him coming from another theoretically, but I mean not even theoretically, but I was wondering if the best way to deal with that be like, all right, sure, we're gonna kick you, just we're gonna kick you out, So basically, it's sort of like how the new Captain America is faring because no one gives a fuck about Anthony Mackie. So, but I mean they're gonna keep him,
That's
but
a sh-
yeah.
That's they screwed it up because the way it was supposed to work is you kill off Steve Rogers, then Bucky takes over, then Bucky gets put in Russian prison for his crimes, then Sam takes over, busts Bucky out.
So
Right. I could that'd be a flipperoo there. Yeah.
I think that Sam wasn't. I don't think Sam was executed well. I think you have to do better, Senator. And
Yeah.
all that nonsense
don't even
did
yeah.
not work.
And
I think he was fine as the Falcon, but I feel like when you
Oh
it's
yeah.
dangerous. Not just because he's Anthony Mackie. Like, let's say he's the best actor in the world, right? Or he's the worst. Either way, that's just
and I will
nonsensical.
say he is a pretty solid actor. It's just hard to, one of those roles, like if someone was
Right.
trying to, who's going to replace,
Yes.
like Robert Downey. It's just a weird, shitty situation.
That's exactly
Yeah,
where
it
I was going with
absolutely
it.
is, yes.
No matter
It's
who
like
you
David-
recast, right? It's still you have to fill RDJ or Chris Evans, which people have now had in their minds for 15 years as that person.
Exactly.
It's never gonna go well. Like even if you get, fucking Tom Cruise to be Iron Man next,
Yeah.
for example.
That's why I felt bad for David Cornsweet. He's not a bad choice for Superman. But
I like
people
him too.
really liked Henry Cavill. And I think Henry Cavill had the potential to be the best if the scripts were better.
And
Yeah,
that's
like-
what we were. No, go ahead, Tim.
I was just gonna say, like, think about, ultimately when they try to replace, Hugh Jackman as Wolverine, it's gonna be really weird for people to sort of deal with. I think it's gonna be
Great,
Oh, yes.
great example. Great example.
Oh, yes. And not only that, I think, God. So Wolverine is supposed to be 5'3". Imagine if they go accurate with the next casting. So not only is it going to be not Hugh Jackman, but it's
Yeah,
some
Hugh Jackman's
5'3"
huge,
dude.
right? Yeah, he's a big
Yeah.
guy.
Yeah.
He's like 6 feet, 6'1", something like that.
I mean, there's some things you got to be willing to forgive, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
But
unless you're
Wolverines
hiring
are
a horse
small.
jockey, horse jockey.
Wolverines are small. Wolverines are
They are.
small, and at the time of the first X-Men film, Glenn Danzig was right there. That's all I'm saying.
There you go.
Mother.
Yeah, but I'm willing to forgive like some things like that. Like as long as that, like for example, in Deadpool and Wolverine, he looked great in that like Wolverine actual with like the eyes, like the Spider-Man eyes on his mask. I think he looked great.
Yes.
That fuck the height. As long as they do like 99% of it right, okay, he's 5'9" instead of 5'3". Big fucking deal.
Is he?
There we go, 6'2".
Is he go? And I would wonder how tall. Now I'm wondering how tall Ryan Reynolds is because they basically look the same height in that movie. They must
He's
be
tall too.
Yeah, they must
Yeah.
be close. So any idea? They're probably not gonna say yet, but because you mentioned because I was thinking about sort of the things you'd sent around, but so obviously the sort of tweet of like Tom Holland like being sort of like which I think that was him being honest. He was annoyed that he wasn't sort of invited, to the. But then again, he's sort of like on the circuit for 2 fucking huge movies right now. So I get it, But
I honestly took it as he has learned through his many press fumbles how to say things without saying them, even though he desperately wants to. At least that's how I interpreted it. Like obviously the easy out is, well, dude, I'm promoting like Spider-Man's coming out this weekend. Like I get you're revealing a Doom trailer, but my movie's coming out this weekend. Of course I got to be here. But like the joke is that I wish I was there, oh boo-hoo, but it's a
All
way
my
of saying
friends are there.
I don't think I'm in that movie kind of thing,
Yeah, whatever he
Um,
said, but he basically said, "I'm not in that movie."
That's what I picked up out of it, to be honest. Because we were talking about a little bit before you got here how it's basically there is gonna be Spider-Man, but probably for like 10 seconds as nostalgia bait and stakes baiting.
I think I don't
And
know.
it might be.
Go ahead. I don't know if I heard it bullshit or not, but I think people were like assuming that like. I think I heard that people were thinking like Tobey Maguire was going to be in it for like 10 seconds and like die on screen or something, but I don't know if that was bullshit or not.
No, we were talking about
They
that. Go ahead, Dario.
destroy the Tobey Maguire world, it's possible Tobey Maguire's Spidey will somehow survive and be part of the big adventuring party for the
Got
first
it.
film.
Got it.
or be brought and resurrected in Doom's battle world. But what I was reading
Yeah,
is
that's
that
true.
to save each other's world, I think Spider-Man, Wolverine, and someone else fight. And Deadpool.
Oh,
Yeah, Deadpool will be
that's
in it.
right.
He's got to be in it. He'll be in it.
And obviously Deadpool and Wolverine are buddies, and I'm sure there's going to be like fourth wall, like, oh man, I hate to kill you. You're my favorite Spider-Man. Like some one-off, kind of ease the tension kind of thing, fourth wall breaking, to kind of take away the fact, yes, we're literally killing Tobey Maguire right now.
Yeah, and
Ice Dancer keeps trying to set off the fish emoji in the chat, and I keep
noticed.
thinking it's her going, ooh, after something we say.
Like, Spider-Man! Yeah.
Like, nope, she's into fish.
Well, we'll see,
yeah.
Teddy. This is all conjecture and assumptions right now.
And it's really interesting because, like, I remember, you know, it's really interesting to how people are sort of reacting to sort of the Doomsday trailer, which a lot of people are just like, this kind of looks like it might suck. This doesn't look. It's really interesting to sort of consider that with Endgame when everyone was hyped, everyone like, this looks awesome and this is going to be awesome, and the movie came out being awesome. So
Yeah.
you know,
Endgame,
yeah.
Endgame was unique because you had a decade of buildup in the movies,
Yeah.
plus you had multiple decades of Marvel street cred across multiple media, which created a buzz around it. And then the Infinity Gauntlet, you had the Legion of Darios out there going to the non-Darios. Oh my God, the Infinity Gauntlet's going to be the biggest thing ever, and half the universe dies.
Legion of Darius. Yeah, like the Council of Kangs and Legion of Darius.
And you've probably heard about like how they've I don't know how they're going to affect it, but is it sort of like they're editing in game a bit to sort of like lead into Doomsday better? And I think the idea is that they're gonna show Cap, like returning the Infinity Stones is what people are saying basically, and like in a fancy briefcase.
Well, that's what they kind of did in Endgame, so I guess that could be like a full circle moment, right? Because they all like went back to put everything in.
Right.
But the problem is, and I think this was revealed because in the trailer they just showed at Comic-Con, so I'm not like breaking any news here, but there's a point where so Doctor Doom is aware that basically at the end of Endgame, you remember you see Steve Rogers on the bench and Anthony Mackie's going to pick up the shield and take up the mantle. And he's like, oh, tell me all about your life, like, leading up to this exact second. He's like, I don't think I will.
Yeah, no, I don't think I will.
So that's either because he's like, A, I don't want to break the timeline and tell you things that, like, you wouldn't know and ruin it. Or B, because, in theory, he's coming back now in Doomsday, and this is going somewhere, I promise. He knows that shit's about to get really fucking fucked up, and he's not going to reveal any of it because he doesn't want to. Kind of like Doctor Strange wouldn't tell Iron Man which of the million possibilities would beat Thanos. I think it's in a similar vein because Doctor Doom reveals that, and Dario's mentioned this before, that when Cap goes back and lives his life, he actually moves dimensions to be safe into the Fantastic Four dimension, and
which is like the sort of like
everything up.
And remember also, they also, are having to sort of like fix some shit, because remember, it was supposed to be Avengers Kang Dynasty, and Jonathan Majors like got in trouble. He was going to be the overarching villain, and they're like, yeah, we can't touch this guy. And then they're like, okay, how do we fix this? Robert Downey Jr. So
yeah. I think it's a fine pivot though. It would have been the same kind of concept.
I think so too. That's what Kang does, right? Yeah.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. Doom is an excellent substitute for any villain.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But you can also make it fit. Like, it was going to be a multiversal, like, because the Council of Kangs. Yeah.
Like, he has such a power level that you can put him into that kind of story.
They'll do anything to get rid of the black man, won't they?
Yes.
You can't have
but
You're joking.
Long story short, though, it was revealed that and they revealed Dario's theory here in the trailer, the recent trailer, that he was living the Fantastic Four universe for years with a wife and kids, but that's now starting to like branch off too far. That's
actually depicted in the trailer. I haven't seen the trailer that they released at
I haven't
Marvel.
either.
They actually mentioned that.
The audio leaked or whatever, but they just show it like when we were talking about Tom Holland's like, oh, I wish I was over there. That's when that revealed. Excuse me.
That's so they is it Loki talking to Steve Rogers and
Possible.
okay.
It's possible that
'Cause-
Loki goes there. So the theory now is that Loki goes like, dude, everything, because he's now the king of time or whatever. At the end of the Loki show, he sits on the throne of time,
yeah. So
and he
Loki
keeps track
shows
of all
up
that.
and says you've created an incursion.
Yes.
So the Peggy that Steve goes back in time to spend the rest of his life with or whatever and grow old with is from the Fantastic Four universe.
I think they're both transplants.
Interesting. Okay.
Like Loki, I think
it's
took them there
I-
to begin with, and then was like, big
Oh.
mistake.
Okay, so they.
I
Oh,
think that's
got
what
it.
they did.
Interesting.
I think
Interesting.
that's what they did. Yeah. At
Because him
least
being
that's
king
what
of
I think
time, he
that's
can
what
go,
Yeah, right.
anywhere at any
Right.
point. Like you could basically put them in, let 50 years go by, and just walk through another door, and hey, it's been 50 years, big mistake, you know.
You know the creator of the TVA, Walt Simonson, he named them after the Tennessee Valley Authority, and he made them as annoying as possible because he was dealing with the Tennessee Valley Authority with like a dispute over his land, and he
Like
was
an
so
HOA?
annoyed with them, yeah, that he created the TVA out of them to mock
The
them.
HOA of time. I love that. But I think Von Doom knows this, or like Downey's character, because I think he lost.
Yeah, he explains it.
Yeah, and finally, because I think they're friends with him. The Pedro Pascal's like they grew up together. They were in science class, or whatever. They went to college together.
Like
And
Reed Richards and who? And Doctor Doom?
Victor Von
Oh,
Doom.
you're right, because they mentioned that like people are assuming like something is said in that movie to demonstrate that rivalry that the two have is going to be a feature of Doomsday. You're right.
Yeah, and
It is,
and
although they're still putting the fault of the incursion on Captain America, and they're putting the Doom is blaming Cap.
right,
for
because
what
it's
happened.
easy to be. It's easy because and you know Doctor Doom, he's going to weaponize that, and so he can look like the good guy for as long as possible before springing his ultimate gotcha moment. He's probably gonna be like, "Let me help you guys fix this," but he's really just gonna take advantage of it and create Doomsday, as it is so called.
Yeah,
Um,
and I actually I know nothing about, and I'm sure Derek can talk about this forever. I don't want to keep going. I know nothing about the Captain America sort of nomad era stuff. I know nothing about that.
When he in the 70s, the distrust of the government made it so that Captain America was frequently at odds with the government, and the Nomad storyline was him, the government taking the role away from Steve, so he takes on the name Nomad and travels America. They've also brought that name back a few times for different characters. Like there was Steve Rogers was trapped in another dimension for a decade, and he actually raised a son, and he goes on to become the new Nomad.
Isn't there a comic about that where they take Captain America's son and his son is basically Red Skull because he's trained in a facility his whole
Oh.
life and breaks out and he's like, "Fuck all
That's-
of you."
That's Ultimate Universe.
Ah,
That's
okay.
not Earth 616. That's Earth 1610.
Got it. Got it. And remind
It's
me-
funny to say out loud, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
And I recently heard, because by the time when I got really back in the comics for a while, it was sort of during the sort of Ultimate era, and and that sort of like was a revitalized and stuff. I remember hearing that like sort of the main rule that they were going to do with Ultimate is like if a character died, they were going to sort of stay dead. But I don't remember enough about Ultimate to know if like there were characters who died, if that was handled significantly.
I don't know. The Ultimate Universe went way off the rails at a certain point, so that grounded that Mark Millar style that it was started with, it got away from that as time went on. So
Yeah.
so it wouldn't surprise me if there have been resurrections in the Ultimate Universe, but not until later.
Yeah, because I remember when about around the time when I was sort of getting back into them and falling back into that stuff, it was like around the time of Civil War. So like I read Avengers Disassembled, I read House of M, and what was that Avengers team where like Doctor Strange was a member, and it was like during that time. Was it like the New Avengers or something like that? There was
That
another.
was
there was another
That was
team.
one of the
Yeah,
new Avengers lineup. Yeah,
yeah.
with Spidey in his black costume and Iron Fist.
And I think
I would
Namor
like to
was a
see that.
member. Yeah,
So the new Avengers we have now, it's just Black Widow, Russian, Captain America. Sentry though is probably the coolest addition.
Sentry's cool.
Yeah, we were talking. Did you see Thunderbolts? I know Dario said he did.
Yeah, yeah, I
Tim?
did. I did. I actually quite liked it.
Yes, and I was basically kind of explaining to Dario how the new Avengers it's kind of cheesy how they do it. It's basically just that lady's cop out to not get immediately plastered into paste by them.
Yep.
She just runs into the press field and it's like, "Hey, it's the Avengers."
Is that
Um,
the Julia Louis Dreyfus chick?
Yes.
Who's in the,
Yeah.
And apparently she's a completely different character, Dario, right? Like she's not like that.
The Contessa Valentina de Fontaine. She's a secret agent. She's Nick Fury's love interest in the comics.
Interesting. Nick Fury, no, he's alive, right? Yes, he got blipped back. That's what it was.
Oh, okay. That's
So I
right.
think she took up his mantle, like how everyone kind of went on with life for 5 years.
Is she basically like, I don't know who came first? Is she ultimately like dealing with the comics and stuff? Is she basically Marvel's like Amanda Waller stand-in a way? Is there sort of like some sort of like connection?
No,
Okay.
no, not really. I perhaps in the live action movies, but
Yeah.
no, not at all.
In live action, it kind of feels that way.
It does,
Because
it
that's
does.
kind of her. I mean,
Yeah.
you saw Thunderbolts. That's kind of her thing. Like, oh,
Yeah.
look at you,
Oh,
expendable
literally.
assholes.
Yeah, you're right. It's literally her thing. Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, she basically
Yeah.
saw all of the new Avengers as a means to an end to create Sentry, and she's like, "You're all expendable. Get the fuck away from me," kind of thing.
See, Nick Fury was closer to James Bond back in the day.
Yeah.
So Valentina was, a Bond girl.
So. Yeah.
Interesting.
That's what I
Oh,
was-
really? So she was just kind of like the eye candy for Bond, and now that's interesting. how
Well, no,
this character-
she was a badass in her own right, not just eye
Okay.
candy.
Because you know how every Bond movie is like he meets a girl at the casino, and there's all that fucking.
Yeah, I realized right after I saw
A lot
that
of
wasn't
vagina.
quite right.
I can't.
Yes.
I can't remember if that's from Austin.
That's Austin Powers,
Powers.
yeah.
It's
a lot of
Austin
vagina, yeah.
Powers.
Okay.
But there's still crazy names in the Bond universe. For example,
Yeah.
Plenty O'Toole.
Yeah, and so I was
Good
kind
times.
Dr. Holly Goodhead.
Stop
my
it.
favorite.
That's a real name.
That's a real name, Dr. Holly Goodhead.
Holy good head.
Moonraker.
and so basically, I think you indicated that sort of dealing with those sort of silly names and how people switch around, and you mentioned that like basically Kevin Feige is like, all right, Avengers Secret Wars is just gonna it's just gonna make this sort of like normal now. You don't have to see every fucking show to sort of know what's going on, and that's hard to
Yeah.
do, man. Star Wars is falling for the same nonsense, but it's going even worse for Star Wars. So
Well, that's what
Right.
Dario and I were discussing before, because it's either like continue down that path of all the countless slop, or kind of do a soft reboot, and their backs up against the wall with that choice.
Well, with Star Wars, I feel very strongly they should jump like 1,000 years into the future and just do completely new characters.
Yeah, well, they're just kind of now just finding places in between movies and shows to fill in.
Yeah,
gaps
exactly.
That didn't exist.
Nooks and
yeah.
crannies.
yeah,
To still be like, this is the Luke Skywalker verse, like he's still around. Kind of like,
Honestly, you know what? Cast Sebastian Stan as Luke Skywalker and do a TV show that takes place between the original and sequel trilogy. There you go. That's
Yeah,
how, that could bring Star Wars back.
yeah, and that's
pre-sequel.
And that's how, and I was sort of a big fan of like the Star Wars sort of extended universe growing up, and I sort of read all those novels, and that's basically what Star Wars was
Oh,
to me.
yeah.
And Star Wars had the ability to really do that because, like, from like 2006 to 2011 or something, like there was Star Wars Legacy, which was a huge and super awesome comic that people love, and
That's
that,
what
that
I
took
was thinking about.
that took place like
1,000 years in
thousands
the
of years.
future.
I think that's like the farthest thing in the future that they have. And Star Wars kind of does that, They're like, okay, well, we need something back, so they'll go to the prequel. They'll just like make up shit and they can do that
Yeah.
because obviously, Star Wars, they don't have as much sort of like territory as, they have more undiscovered territory than like, like MCU or Marvel Marvel does, or maybe. So they just like they'll like make up an era, then a lot of shit will happen there. But it's kind of hard to do that with so many comics and shit going on.
Star
So.
Wars Legacy looks kind of fucking cool. I'm just
It was
looking at
Oh,
images.
Legacy
It looks
is
cool.
really good.
it was a big deal. I loved it. It was a big deal back in the day. It was
It's
awesome.
written by the underrated John Ostrander. He created Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
Teddy gives his casting nomination. Ray DeVito's Luke Skywalker.
Right.
Come on, guys.
Right,
No
right.
weird stuff. Come on. Let's just use the Force for good and stuff, guys. Come on. Sorry, Dario. What were you gonna say?
I was just chanting Ray.
Oh, Ray. Yes, and that would give him the Force right there. But yeah, I never got too into Star Wars. I mean, I've seen all the movies, but I never got into the lore and all the villains. Things I've heard really good things about is Knights of the Old Republic 2,
Yep.
like an RPG where you can play as a Sith Lord or something.
Yeah.
You guys play that one?
Yeah, I was
Oh, yes.
I like the Star Wars is basically sort of like even I was in and out of stuff the like Marvel and all that stuff during that time, but I was consistent with Star Wars basically for 15 years or something from being a kid to I'm 35 now, but from I don't know 15 years old to I don't know 25. I was really even younger. I was super tied into that, and I was one of those people who was upset, because for a lot of people, a lot of sort of nerdy people like us or whatever, the extended universe was Star Wars to people because they weren't making
Yes.
movies anymore. So they
Exactly.
made the 3 original movies, and then there was nothing for years upon years. So they used more so novels, but also comics in a way to sort of bridge that territory. And so
But they
that's what.
coordinated.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, you're right. Yeah, exactly.
So the more Star Wars content that you consumed, the more you saw all these different connections.
Yeah.
In one of the novels, Luke talks to the ghost of a fallen Jedi.
Yeah.
That character was, you see his fall in one of the comic book series.
Yeah. So, and I think is that Quinlan Voss? I can't remember. I can't, but yeah.
I think it's Ulic Keldroma. I think that's the name. ULIC.
I'm frantically Googling these things.
You look, yeah, I don't remember.
ULIC QEL.
QEL,
dash-
Droma, yeah. Male
Yeah.
Jedi Knight whose life was recounted in the quasi-historical Keldroma epics.
Yeah, and so there was a bunch of stuff that they brought back now, what was the Chiss character, Thrawn, the Chiss character, those are that's how people but which is really an interesting sort of concept, which you'll sort of really never sort of see again, because you just had those 3 movies, so the lore continued and was extended and was canon, until the movies came out, and for instance, this is probably 2000 or so, they had the Jedi Order novels, which were a big deal, and there was 10 of them. They had the big name writers writing for them, and in the first book of that series, shit, I can't remember what's the name. What's the director of Star Wars? I've lost his name.
George Lucas.
Yeah,
Yes.
for instance, George Lucas actively commissioned the first writer of those series, R.A. Salvatore, to kill Chewbacca in the first novel, and he does, and it's canon, and so Chewbacca dies in that first sort of, and it's a sort of a big deal and all that stuff. But then, I was one of those people that when sort of Disney bought Star Wars, because now what would be called the extended universe is Legends. It's not officially canon anymore, so they pull stuff out now that fits.
Exactly.
They brought Thrawn back and stuff like that. So Thrawn is now canon, but I was one of those people who was really, really pretty annoyed and sort of, I guess you would say, butthurt when they're oh man, all the stuff I love does not exist anymore. But Star Wars is sort of particular to where its fan base is fractured because of how they did it. So they're a fan to only the original movies are Star Wars to them. They're a fan to accept everything, and then they're also fans who might only accept some of the movies. So they're fan bases all over the place.
Well,
I
remember
I'm
where I
fully
was.
expecting.
Go ahead.
Oh, go on. Oh, I was
You're
just
good.
going to say I'm fully expecting Mara Jade to be introduced as a lesbian with no interest in Luke whatsoever
Right.
in the new Disney product.
That's how they do it. I mean,
Yeah.
it depends where, because I remember where I was. I was never really into Star Wars, but I remember I was going to a sushi place when I read on my phone that Lucasfilm bought by Disney, and I was just Where are we going
were
with
you?
this, man? Like, yeah, it's like I just kind of
Yeah.
knew the writing was on the wall that eventually this would spiral out of control because they were also owning Marvel, and all this stuff. But you good, Dario?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay.
Sorry, I didn't mean to make the show go longer. I sort of I popped
No,
up.
we're gonna wrap up in a couple minutes. I just want to wait till Dario's settled and we can start doing that. But no, I appreciate it. You
I have to
definitely
plug
added.
in my laptop.
Yeah, you definitely added some good stuff. We're almost at 3 hours, by the way, so you definitely added a little more energy. They were getting ready to wrap up like 45 minutes ago, so.
No, you guys went a long time, so I'm sure I'll have to go back and listen so I can shit on you later.
Yes, and by the way,
Exactly.
it was Dario's birthday the other day, so if you want to send him $2 Venmos to shit on him,
I
that's for his
will.
birthday present.
Happy birthday, Dario. Of course I will.
Thank you.
Look at that. Oh, is that a cat?
No.
That is a cat.
Meow.
It's Sugar.
I saw
and
you were.
Spike.
I don't want to sort of. This is about leveling
Spike
up in the
had to
dab.
be rehomed.
This is about leveling up in the dab and going above and beyond. But I did see that you were on NJ Ranger's show on the shit on stealth panel. I did see that.
I was there for a little bit,
Oh.
yeah.
I'm glad you were there. You were remembered because you're an OG stealth.
Oh yeah,
From
Stump and I go
hardcore.
way back. Well, because I promised him, so I was on Clown Town the other night, and after actually Stealth was on there, and I've learned how to talk to him, kind of like talk to him like a baby. You try to avoid the tantrums, because he used to just like leave if he's like, I'm out of here, fecal blob, goodbye.
Like Panhandler now. Panhandler won't do a show with you either, right?
Yeah, well, no, he said I'll talk to the boss about it, but
Okay, good.
I think it's because he's in KB's pocket.
Yeah.
And we know how that goes with the guests
We
of that
do.
show. So
We
he
do.
leveled up in his own way there. But what was I going to say? Yeah, so I promised because Stealth, I pouring in the story, I kept trying to get an answer. I was like, dude, so are you going on? And Jared, because they've been trying to get him on there for weeks now. And it's always some excuse, some this. It was like, are you really good? Flimsy's like, just come on and this is great, but why don't we just hash this out on the show you've been promising to come on?
Yeah, I saw that part.
Long story short, I was like, if he doesn't show up, I'll come and do my part. So I went on for a little bit to add my notes to it, because of course he ended up doing a spite snipe stream against them instead of showing up.
I
So.
saw that. Oh man, my favorite thing. He's like, oh, Timo is going to make you a mod, but you lower yourself when you're hanging out with the blob. And it's like,
Oh,
oh
yes.
no,
You lower yourself with such lower intellect. How dare you?
Tim, you're a man of letters. I thought. Well, what are you doing with
He's
these
done that to
rubbish
Harley
tools?
Quinn in Harley Quinn's chat. He was like, I'm not coming on your show if you associate with. He did it to Dabbling Down Under. He's just on like a press tour, anti-me press tour. So.
Yeah, I was almost a stealth mod, but I'm familiar with the final boss, and you ruined it.
Oh man, to be a stealth mod. I mean, well, I'll send you something later, but it's already falling out of control with certain personalities that have been modded and pitted against each other.
I saw a
But,
little bit of that as well. Yeah,
yes, and we can leave it there. This
Let's
is the
leave it
under
there.
dab.
let's leave it there.
But we're gonna wrap up. This went way longer than I thought. So as usual, a resounding success that we could just yap to each other about this stuff and have time fly. So I appreciate you guys very much. Let's go around and do some plugs. Tim.
You can find me at Werewolf of Sicily on X. Is that your
Dario the Wop.
Dario the
Dario
Wop.
the Wop
Right.
on
I always
X. And
forget.
Cash
it,
App.
right. Yeah, and Cash App.
And Dario-Vittorio on Venmo for his birthday. Is that correct?
That is correct, yes.
All right. Any other plugs for you, Dario? Any other shows and stuff you'd like to plug? Because we took care of your money.
Papa's Puzzle Factory. You got to check out Papa Kill, the Papa Kill YouTube channel for Papa's Puzzle Factory. It's every Friday or Saturday. And,
Pop-ups occasionally.
Yeah.
He
He calls me Urkel because I got caught up in the war, and they call me One person called me Carlton. I got caught up, I think, in the great sort of like Puzzle Factory Clowntown War.
Clowntown War, yeah.
Yeah, we all did a little bit. We all landed somewhere in the divorce. But
Exactly.
anyway, so
And then,
oh no, go ahead,
and then
finish
this
up.
show. I was
Hey,
about to plug this show.
leveling
And
up
I
in the
realized,
dab.
no, I'm on this show.
Well, I mean, if you're here, you're here, right? You know, if they're here, they're
Yeah.
watching. A lot of people are in and out tonight. We got some good super chats. Thanks to Tim's Totality, Metal Gear, Tabby Benedict. Appreciate you guys, and of course, not sure what's going on next week, but I'll reach out a little earlier this time. We'll get a better time and date so we can all be here. But it's free flowing.
It's so interesting now. It's kind of, to just sort of think about, I mean, we're leveling up, but to think about, how the sort of Dowverses are exploding in a way, because I feel like there's a lot of shows always going on at the same time now. It's wild.
Crazy.
Yeah.
We fared a little better tonight, we like as far as numbers of shows, because I mean last week, that was just absurd. Like there was like 15 shows going on. You can't make that shit up. And the Dapple dashboard definitely helps keep track of that. But well, yeah. So basically, we're kind of free flowing. I can't necessarily plug a time, day, or place, but I will be try to be better with that to give more advance notice for both on Twitter and because I don't even think I posted this on Twitter.
Yeah, I just checked. You're number 10 in the leaderboard for
Woohoo!
yesterday.
Sticking it to hold on. Let's see. Who'd we stick it to?
Ray.
Oh, Ray, my buddy, and Echo. He wants me to make some like shorts for him and clips and stuff, so he could put them on his socials. I got to get to work on that. But anyway, so keep a lookout for tweets. I'll be better with that, and obviously corresponding and more in advance for a time. I'll be better at that, learning as we go. But other than that, this is Leveling Up in the Dab. A salute to you guys. I'll talk to you in the chat because I'm just going to dip and play the outro. But it's been good talking to you guys.
Here's.
Got those plugs. Do you want to plug your Twitter, Tim? Like, for real?
What? Was it? Yeah, sure. At Tim's Totality. Join me.
There you go. If you like Tim's takes, that's where you find him. I know it's funny you plug Daria, but anyway.
You're right. You're
we're
right.
Gonna
I
dip.
gotta be serious. This is I gotta, I gotta get my name out there. You're right. You're right.
Hey, come on, Tim. You're leveling up in the dab. Hello. But anyway, I'm just going to bounce. I'm going to play the outro. It's been awesome talking to you guys. And have a good one, fellas. And everybody
Peace.
else. Good night.
Peace.
Hey, where are you, David?
Pat's coming! Pat's coming!